Serving 26 schools across more than 500 square miles, Pulaski County Special School District is one of the largest school districts in the state of Arkansas. Our district strives to help each student discover his or her full potential while preparing students for life and cultivating future leaders. PCSSD continues to strengthen the relationship between its public schools and the community. Our district is committed to creating a nationally recognized school district that assures that all students achieve at their maximum potential through collaborative, supportive, and continuous efforts of all stakeholders. The schools participating in this football game are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by their school board. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the AAA. The Arkansas Activities Association, which is sponsoring this football game, is a voluntary nonprofit educational association of some 500 junior and senior public and private high schools of Arkansas. The regulations which guide these events are adopted by the schools themselves and determine the type of program they believe to be most desirable for high school youth. The Arkansas Activities Association is one of 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility which correspond to those recommended by the National Federation. The Arkansas Activities Association recognizes that athletes represent more than themselves in athletic competition. They represent their team, their fellow students, their teachers, and the community. Athletes who display good sportsmanship reflect high moral standards.
Senator fans to Robinson Center football on the PCSSD Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. Welcome in with us for tonight's game with your Robinson Senators against the Vilonia Eagles. I'm Tyler Chenault, along with my new broadcast partner, Chris Goodman. And let me introduce you to tonight's crew real quick. On production, again, we have David Tooley. On our main cam on the top of the press box here is Mark Miller, and we'll have Francis Sturts on the sideline cam. So, Chris, it's your first night with us, got you in here. I know I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have a partner again. Been kind of going at it with Steve on the days he could be here, and I was alone last week. So I'm excited to have somebody up here that I can talk with rather than I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to catch some high school football. I haven't been able to a lot lately, and to also catch the Robinson Senators. They're a very good football team, and I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. They look good this year. Had a really good week last week against Watson Chapel, putting up some points offensively, forcing some turnovers, and, really exciting season so far. Looking good in the 5A Central, up top with fellow PCSSD team Little Rock Mills, who is at Little Rock tonight, I guess, but they're playing Maumelle, so we've got a little PCSSD rivalry going on over there at Little Rock Mills, but tonight we've got Vilonia. We'll kind of look a little bit at the stats that we've got from both teams tonight and then kind of talk about how each team matches up against each other. So as we know, got Quentin Murphy in at quarterback for your Senators. He is 30 for 52 on the season with 489 passing yards. That's a 56% completion, or 58% completion percentage, I'm sorry. That's pretty good. I know one of the things you look for, even at the college level, is if you can get above that 50% completion percentage, you're doing pretty good. You obviously like to be higher, but it's good to see, especially a sophomore quarterback that this is his first year at the high school level throwing the ball, to be above that 50%. I know you've watched a few. How do you think he looks throwing the ball this year?
Yeah, watching some of the film before this game, a lot of his throws, he looks like a sophomore QB. He wish, the arm strength may not be there, or the placement's not there yet, but he definitely shows the ability to make these throws. And, as he grows through his high school career, he'll end up being I'm going to say one of the top QBs in the state.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And, it's just, I think when it comes to, those younger guys, those younger Qs, it comes a lot to consistency. Because we've seen some really, really good balls, really good deep balls even from him, especially in that Marlton game, and it's just staying consistent and, knowing the work ethic of Quentin and, the coaches that he's got and the trainers, I expect to see him to continue to grow, continue to develop that consistency in his throwing motion, and continue to be successful throughout his high school career and on. From the rushing attack on the ground, we've got King Freeman, as he's been known this year with how he's played. He's got 44 carries for 510 yards. He's averaging 11.6 yards a carry. I mean, anything over 10, that's pretty much unheard of in big-time football, and he's averaging 11.6, 127.5 yards a game, and 12 touchdowns. And then you also got Malik Acuna. He's got just 10 carries, but he's over 100 yards at 101. So we got, two pretty good running backs, but King Freeman, I mean, he is the bell cow for this Robinson Senator offense, and he's tough to tackle. We've talked about it every week up here. He doesn't get tackled by the first guy. He makes guys miss. He's really low center of gravity, strong lower body. What do you see from him running the football on what you've been able to watch?
Right, he's pretty good. He's one of those backs that when he takes the ball, a lot of ESPN guys talk about falling forward and stuff like that when they're running the ball, and he, Freeman will take the ball, hard runner like you said, and he's going to fall forward and get the extra yardage that's needed. That's probably why he's got 11.6 yards per carry. I mean, that's insane. I mean,
yeah, and I'd be really interested to see, and I don't know that they keep up with it. I would be interested to see his yards after first contact because, it's got to be high. I mean, he's getting touched. He's got good blocking, and he's got holes, especially on some of those long runs where he gets to the edge. He's got really good blocking downfield by his receivers that we talked about. But you still got to make a couple guys miss to really go on those long 60, 70-yard rushes, especially that one we saw last week at the end of the half. So really impressive this year by King Freeman, by his offensive line, giving him holes because you can't do it without those guys up front. If you don't have anywhere to go, you can make one guy miss, but there's going to be two or three other guys in your lap. So it's really impressive offensively altogether this year for Noah, for Quentin. And then, we've got our receivers, our two leading receivers, Brandon Grill, Chase Nichols. Brandon Grill, 10 receptions, 245 yards. Chase Nichols, 11 receptions, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns respectively. And, he hadn't thrown the ball as much, hadn't had to throw the ball as much. But, like I said, whenever you throw those dudes the ball, I mean, if it's there for them to catch, they're going to make the catch, and they're going to be electric whenever they get it. But as much as that, they are some of the best blocking wide receivers that I've seen in my career. I coached for 5 years, and I know you do some work as well in football. And if you can get those receivers to buy in, and that as much speaks to them as players and as young men, and it does to your coaching staff to get the buy-in to get those receivers to block, because you know what they want to do. They want to catch the ball, they want to score touchdowns. But if you can get them to buy in and block, and I mean that's really special.
Yeah, and that. Good blocking receivers, that's such a trait that a lot of people, they don't think about when they're watching games or something like that. But that's something that, I think a lot of college coaches will look at, especially at a school, or a college where they run the ball a lot. They'll want a receiver that can go out and make a catch, but can also go out and lay a big-time block, and that's how you get someone like Freeman averaging 11.6 yards a carry. He's got a good O-line in front of him, and then he's got these great wide receivers outside that are selfless and will block, downfield, do what they got to do for him.
Yeah, you're right. You don't get 11 yards a carry if you don't have receivers blocking for you too, because by the time you get to that third level, if they're coming up to play, they're going to meet you before 10 yards. So you got to have that help from the outside too. And then we'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about our defensive guys. Number 6, Ashton Williams, Mr. Hit Stick himself. Anytime he's in on the tackle, somebody's going to be airborne. He's got a total of 52 tackles on the year, 7 tackles for a loss. And then the freshman, Tank Reese, is our next leading tackler, 27 total tackles with 2.5 for a loss. Just 2 electric linebackers. It's really nice at this level of football to have those types of linebackers that can fly around the field with the speed that they have and chase down guys that are outside and then lay the lumber whenever they get there.
Yeah, definitely. When I first turned on, some Robinson film and was watching the game, Tank. That was the first name that popped out of me, and he laid a huge hit out on the outside, and I was like, that dude's got to be a senior, got some games under his belt, and they were like, oh, freshman Tank, and I was like, man, that dude's going to really, pan out. And then Williams, it's just 2 really physical linebackers, and as a defensive coordinator, you got to love that because those guys flying around making plays. It kind of eases up what everybody else, has to do. Everybody knows, the D-line knows they got 2 guys behind them that if that running back does get through, he's not going very far.
Yeah, and, we got to make sure we mention those D-linemen up front. Without those D-linemen eating up blocks, especially, in the defense that we play, those guys wouldn't be able to fly around. You got your LaFonza Burrell, Dylan Hunt, Julian Campos, Micah Pennington are usually those 4 guys out there and just eating up those blocks and letting those linebackers run free and use their speed to get there and make a play. So, really good all-around team this year. Excited to see how they continue to play. And then real quick, before we take our first break, we got a couple minutes. We'll look at a few stats from Vilonia and kind of talk about what they do. So, we know just based off the stats, based off watching a few games, Vilonia is big on slinging the ball around the field. They don't run it as much. They like to drop back. They like to throw the ball. So we're going to see how well our defensive backs can work today and cover some of their guys. But their quarterback number 18 is McKissick. He is 96 for 158 on the season. So he's at 61% completion percentage, which we just talked about. That's a good number to see, especially at the high school level. He's got 1,200 yards. He's got 1,200 yards on the season throwing, and he's got 10 touchdowns. So, they do like to throw the ball. They look pretty good throwing the ball. Got some athletes out there. Record doesn't look great, as we know, but they look like they should have more wins. It look like they'll get some more wins as they move throughout the season.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of their games I think were a few score games, but then when they played Greenbrier, their rival, right there, it was I believe a 2-point game. A lot of their games they've been in, they just haven't been able to really, go over the hump and win those games. But they got, they've got athletes. Like you talk about McKissick, 1,200 passing yards, and we're, 4 games in. To me, that's a lot for for a high school that's 1-3. So him spreading around the ball. They've got good receivers. Coming out of Vilonia. That they lost a lot last year with their QB going to college. So. Making up for that was going to be a challenge, and 1-3, we'll see how the rest of the year plays out for them.
Oh yeah, but that's always something. Something we got to be on the lookout for today is can we stop that passing attack that has carved up some yardage throughout the year. So that'll be exciting to see how we do covering those guys. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a quick break. Whenever we get back to our pregame show, we'll take a look at our other PCSSD Sports Network matchups as well as some natural state sports games to watch around the state this week. Welcome back, Robinson fans, to Robinson Center Football on the PCSSD Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. Now, I know we're getting close to the national anthem here, so whenever that does come to us, we'll take a break and we'll listen to that. It looks like they're getting ready. I don't want to talk over it, but no, they're just warming up. All right, so I didn't want to miss it. We'll get to it whenever it's time. But while we've got a little bit of time here, we'll go ahead and look at some of our games around the PCSSD Sports Network, and then some of the games around the state, especially in the 5A Central, and see what our teams in our conference are going to do. So first off, one of the other big games in PCSSD, I'll say it's the biggest just because it's two PCSSD teams against each other. It's the Maumelle Hornets at the Little Rock Mills Comets. Maumelle, last week it was a surprise to me, really. I expected them to have a little better game against Pine Bluff, but we were talking about before we got on here that, Maumelle, again, it's one of those really good teams that, they've just come up short in a couple games last week. I wouldn't be surprised if last week was just a little bit of a letdown after that Whitehall game where they had Whitehall on the ropes early and then just kind of lost it. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back from that. And I just heard them ask to remove their hats, so we'll be right back after the national anthem. All right, we're back. Great performance by the Senator Band right there for the national anthem. Always good to see that band come to work, and they put in just as much time as the athletes do, as the football players do. I know when I was in high school, the band was always out there. The band was on the blacktop practicing and marching, and they were harder than we were out there because they had all the sun bouncing off the concrete. So, want to make sure we give the band props. We'll make sure and show that halftime show again, and we'll do our best to keep that scoreboard off of them like we had last week for you and make sure you got a good shot. So going back to the games that we're going to watch around the state. So Maumelle at Mills, talked a little bit about Maumelle. Mills look very impressive this year. Obviously, If you've been able to catch any of their games, they are electric, they are athletic, they are fast, physical, and they force a ton of turnovers. They've let the teams they play get a little bit of yardage, but if they start sniffing the end zone, Mills starts stripping at the ball, and more often than not, that ball's coming out, and they are forcing fumbles left and right. It's impressive to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maumelle, they've played good, and like you said earlier, they're just one of those good teams that just haven't made the jump. But Mills, man, they had a close one last week with Whitehall, I believe, and they're on another level right now.
Yeah, they pulled it out, and again they pulled it out because Whitehall was driving late to go up by 2 possessions because they still had the lead, I believe, if I remember correctly. But what happened? They forced a fumble. They stripped the ball out of the Whitehall's running back's arms, and they got the ball. They went down, scored, and they won the game. Yep. So when they get close to the end zone, Mills starts raking at that ball. So I think one of the keys for Maumelle tonight over there is ball security, and we've seen it even, I'm sure some of us are Razorback fans. We've seen it with the Razorbacks. If you can't keep the ball on offense, that causes you issues. Even if you're the better team, if you can't hold on to the ball and you give it away, you're going to struggle. So, one of the big things Maumelle has to do, and then whenever we run into Mills later on in the year, got to make sure we protect that football. So, we want to see that continue throughout the games this week. And the other Natural State Sports PCSSD game and our PCSSD Natural State Sports Game of the Week is a Sheridan Yellow Jackets at the Sylvan Hills Bears. Sylvan Hills still winless on the season, going up against a pretty good Sheridan team that has been surprising this year in the 6A. Sylvan Hills has been close in a lot of their games. They've just struggled to pull some stuff, pull off some wins in the game, but they've looked good. And they just, need to be able to put it all together, put a whole game together. They've played really good in spurts throughout their games, but just got to be able to put it all together. So it should be a good one over there at the Game of the Week, Sheridan at Sylvan Hills. And then we'll look at a couple more of our games in the 5A Central. We've got about 5.5 minutes left here, so once we get to the coin toss, we'll let y'all watch in. So we got about a minute before we cut off one more time. So we got Watson Chapel at Marlton. We've seen both of those teams here with the Robinson Senators. Watson Chapel's at Marlton, so it's a battle of, the past two Senator opponents. So it should be a good one over there. But one I'm really interested in watching is that BB at Pine Bluff. We've seen both of those across the Pulaski County Special School District. And, they've both looked good at times. BB lost their quarterback a few weeks ago, but they came back, and I think they got a win last week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Is there anything that sticks out to you in any of those games or any games across the state?
Just the Sylvan Hills game, just because I'm kind of alumni, to Sylvan Hills. That game sticks out to me. When I played there, we were very good. They're under a new coaching staff now, and last season had a lot of success. The season before had some success, and it's just one of those things where, when you switch offenses, it kind of, throws off, not really throws off everything, but it takes some time to adjust.
Takes time.
Yeah, and then like you said, the BB and Pine Bluff game, those are two teams that are usually pretty good. Pine Bluff being historically good. Mm-hmm. Just seeing which two of those can really turn their season around and really take off like they're used to.
Oh, yeah. So, real quick, those both look good. And with Sylvan Hills, they're changing their offense, but they were making wholesale changes. They're running offense that you don't really see, Yeah. So it's a big change. It just takes time, like you said, to get ready. So we're about to have the coin flip. I'll go ahead and let you know who our captains are tonight. Number 24 is LaFonza Burrell. Number 21, B.J. Martin. Number 22, Kalian Faust, and number 23, Randall McIntosh. They gave it to us in order right there. It was easy to read off. But that'll do it for our pregame show. Got a few minutes before kickoff, so thank you for joining us tonight for the pregame show. When we get back, it'll be time for kickoff with your Robinson Senators versus the Vilonia Eagles.
Randall. Robinson won the toss. They've elected to defer to the second half. Vilonia will receive the first half kickoff, defend the west end zone.
All right, we're back, Senator fans, to Robinson Center football on the PCSSD Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. So we did just have the coin toss. You saw it there with our great field cam work by Francis Sturts there. So looks like Vilonia did take the ball, so we will start out on defense. And just before we get started, got a couple minutes here. Want to make sure that I mention our advertisers before we get started. So we got Alicia Colvin at Relentless Performance Training. She's our first down sponsor. Relentless Performance Training helps their athletes achieve their optimal performance with everything they need to build the best strength, agility, and conditioning, with a heavy focus on injury prevention, performance psychology, flexibility, and more. Give Alicia a call at 501-517-9972. And you're watching your Robinson Senators run out on the field right now, and they're ready for some football. And then again, we got Dio Vanucci at Cornerstone Home Lending, our touchdown sponsor. Contact Dio for all of your home lending needs. You can call him at 501-303-4050 or text Dio to 36260. And then our halftime sponsor, Akel's Carpet One Flooring and Home. Contact them at 501-214-0495 or go ahead and give them a visit at 10 Maumelle Curve Court in North Little Rock. So those are our advertisers. I will do my best to remember to mention them after first downs and touchdowns. If not, I'll make up for it at some point. If you listened to any last week, we got a few of them in, but I had to make up for it a little bit. So we'll do our best. Still a work in progress up here in the booth. So we're getting ready to kick this ball off. Vilonia has come onto the field. Robinson's kickoff team is huddled up, getting ready to come out on the field, with number 99, John Tate, as our kicker again. See if he can put one into the end zone again. We've talked about it a little bit these past few weeks, Chris. We got a sophomore kicking the ball, but he has probably touched it back, I would say, 75-80% of the time from a sophomore kicker, and we've talked about these past few weeks how much of a weapon that is. And just from a coaching standpoint, if you can trust your guy to put the ball into the end zone every single time, or at least close to every single time, that takes a big weight off of your shoulders.
Yeah, and I was watching him warm up, in pregame, and he was kicking field goals from the, 35-40. For him to be a sophomore, that's really impressive.
Oh, yeah, this summer Coach Escola was excited about it.
All right, and we got kickoff. Got us around the 7. Goes over to the home side, or his home side. Looked like it was number 24. Got out to the 28.
We had number 2. Looks like Caden Blaylock on the tackle there. And I think number 5 was in there as well, Jaden Dotson for your Senators.
All right, and we'll have Vilonia come out on offense first. We talked a lot in the pregame about how they love to throw the football around. We'll see how the defense of the Senators matches up. And I think, the athletes on the outside and the linebackers in the middle, if they can get some pressure, who knows what may happen. We may have a pick six first play. Who knows?
If we can make them have to run around back there, it'll really help.
Yeah, they go with a little screen play, and the Senators are there. I mean, it was a 2-yard gain at most.
Yeah, that was number 9 there, Evans Olami on the tackle, and he had a blocker on him, but he defeated that. He had an offensive lineman on him. That's impressive, seeing a safety come down, get off an offensive lineman's block right there, and get a quick tackle on that screen.
Yeah, but coaches will love that, coming down, taking on the O-line, and stopping the screen play.
Good play by Evans.
Vilonia goes 5 wide, passing it around like we mentioned. Receiver number 1 on the play for Vilonia, and we don't have a roster for Vilonia, so we do apologize, but he'll take it and get a first down.
Yeah, I've got a few names here at least. That was Vines for Vilonia, and then on the tackle was Jamarcus Brown for the Robinson Senators.
They'll go trips again, wide, keeping that same passing attack. Senators will have to match up well. They stopped the first 2 plays well. They'll go with a draw play here, and it's just nothing going.
And I think, let's see who that was coming down. Yeah, that was Evans again coming down from his safety position. You're playing a team that we know throws the ball, so you would think those draw plays would work pretty good, and he had a little bit of room. But when you got safeties flying down like that into the box, it's tough.
Yeah, not scared to put your nose in there and really make a hit. You got to love that. We'll go to the quads to the right here. We got a guy And again, flying to the ball is the Senator defense, and a huge hit there.
Who is that? None other
Huge
than
hit.
Ashton Williams.
Laying the wood, man. You got to love a physical defense, especially when you're going against a team that passes the ball out and you got to fly to the guy. When you get one player out there to hold him up and then another guy just to come lay the hit. That really, it gets in the receiver's mind a little bit, and they think next time they got to go catch that ball out there.
Yeah, it's harder to catch it after you get a hit like that. Chase Nichols was the first one there on the play, and Ashton Williams cleaned it up.
There's a big third down here on the opening drive. They'll throw it out there. And there he is again, Ashton Williams, number 6. See that from a mile away, coming in and just stopping the play dead. They gained a yard, if that. It'll be 4th and about 4 yards for Vilonia.
Yeah, the Nichols-Williams combination again. Chase made him cut it back, and here comes Ashton. They're going to stop wanting to, come across the middle. They're going to try and stay outside.
This from the quarterback.
Just going to let it drop.
Let it roll, and that takes the Eagle bounce, but not too far. Looks like they'll set up shop around the 17 or 18-yard line.
Oh, yeah. Time for Robinson Senator offense. See what we can do. Put some points on the board. That's a good first possession, especially against a team that, we hadn't seen super heavy passing teams recently. Marlton for sure didn't like to throw the ball. Watson Chapel threw it a little bit, but to come out and against a team throw it, and they gave up, one first down? And against teams that throw the ball like that, you're going to give up first downs.
Yep.
But can you stop it when you get to that third down? Really, can you get off the field on third down?
And the big thing, too, if you're sitting in a zone, can you fly and make tackles? And that's the Senator defense did a really good job the first drive there of flying around and making the tackles. Going to run right up the middle, and the O-line, great. I mean, who's that, number 15?
That's Noah Freeman. King Freeman.
Yeah, King Freeman. I mean, and that's what we talked about in the pregame show. The O-line opening up the holes, and then you got a running back that's not scared to get in there and hit the hole when it's there. And
Yeah, that's one of those. Noah had 5 yards before he ever met anybody on defense, and that's, like you said, that's the offensive line getting gashes in there for him to run through.
They got another 3 yards just falling forward. We're going to go with a QB draw here. It's open. Oh, great tackle there. Great tackle. It was open.
You see the speed of Quentin Murphy, though. I mean, they're not afraid to run him either. That was straight quarterback run the whole time. He just got tackled barely. Like you said, that was a great tackle. If it's not a tackle, I think Quentin's in the end zone.
Yep. And you see the Senators' first couple of plays here really, really hitting home. What they want to come out and do is show, we got a great run game, and we're going to show you that we have a great run game. You'll hear another run right up the middle. He breaks
Noah.
It outside. Freeman.
There goes the king.
He's Freeman. Oh, what a great tackle by number 7 out there, I believe.
It was.
That's just, hitting the hole and going, knowing where the end zone is, and I'm going. You're going to have to stop me, and that's a rare occasion where you see one guy take Freeman down, like you said earlier. It takes multiple guys, and still when they do tackle him, he's falling forward and picking up extra yards, and it's hard to stop a running back like that. Glad he's got on the black and gold tonight.
It doesn't happen often. That was Mosier for Vilonia on the play. He did limp off afterwards, though, so keep an eye on if he can come back on for Vilonia.
Hit Freeman again. It's just the O-line is just, you get the DN turned out, the D tackle turned in, and it's just a huge hole right there, and Freeman, says thank you and keeps going.
He had a guard wrapping around to pick up that first linebacker. It's a really good drive. Offensive line imposing their will right now.
Yeah, you got to love to see it. I played offensive line, so when you see, teams that are saying, hey, we're going to ride your back, and you guys, you guys take us to the end zone, they don't – offensive linemen don't always get all the love, but they, you can't have a good run game without a good offensive line. We're going to go to the same play here, and Freeman, I believe, stopped in, a 1-yard loss. You don't really see that a whole lot, but –
not too often. 42 Roberts for Vilonia came off the edge and was able to get him. And that kind of looked like a delay, so he was a step behind. I wouldn't be surprised to see him trying to maybe pass here, one of their quick bubbles or something for Quentin. You're going to have – Vilonia is loading the box right now. They got 2 guys high. Corners are pressed, and everybody else is in the box. So it wouldn't be surprised to see them try and air it out a little bit here soon.
And there may be, it may be a thing of setting it up and like, okay, we're going to do what we want to do until they stop it. We're going to go with the QB run again. And God, my grandfather always says you can't run without your legs. And a guy like, Quentin, if you can get down there, somebody with speed, you grab their legs, they can't go anywhere. And that was a good job by the Vilonia defender there to to get in, wrap up around the ankles, and stop Quentin from getting any yardage.
Another good tackle by Vilonia. That's probably the best tackling we've seen so far this year besides Pulaski Academy. We hadn't made as many guys miss. We've had more room initially, but whenever they're there, they're making some tackles.
Setting it up here, trips to the outside. They may throw this down. I mean, it's third and manageable. It's third and longer, but it's manageable for a team when you have this many athletes out there. We'll drop back. Taking on the one-on-one shot and just, throws it out of bounds. It was there. And, a little off target, but, when you have a sophomore quarterback, that happens. He's shown all year that he can make those throws. Sometimes a QB, when you're a younger QB, you drop back and you look out there and you got your guy wide open and the eyes get big, the lights shine brighter, and you're like, yes, there it is. And just missed the target, but that's all right.
That was one of your real timing routes too, trying to hit him out of his break and all. Those are probably the toughest balls to throw, especially for a younger guy with that, having to time it up.
Going to go for it here on fourth down. Number 3, we got the reverse pass, and he's got Quentin open. There it is.
And there's your first down. We talked about this pregame too. Brandon Grill's good for at least one pass a game so far this season, and he completes it there to Quentin. Caught him off guard. You're looking for that, but you're not looking for the quarterback to leak out the backside.
No, yeah, and then when you got somebody like Speed, as a Vilonia DC, that just it's awful to watch happen because like you said, you don't expect the QB. We've got a one-on-one shot, and it was almost there. That was maybe a yard too deep, and he threw it.
It landed right about on the back that back baseline back there, and it was close. It was close, but you like to see them aired out a little bit. Kind of got to keep them honest.
Yep. Yeah, and I like that they're taking some one-on-one shots. Really trying to figure out who the matchups are, who they can kind of pick on all game, and what receiver's going to go out there and make the plays this game.
Give it to Vilonia. They hadn't gotten beat deep yet. We beat a lot of teams deep so far.
We're going to go with the run game, and Freeman makes it. Oh man, we're going to have a touchdown Senators. What a run there. I mean, made 2 guys miss, made a guy miss at the line, a guy miss in the linebacker core, and then the rest was just snow. I mean, what a run.
And there's your typical King Freeman. He jump cut one guy, step cuts another guy. I mean, 3 guys maybe he may miss right there. That's what you see from Noah Freeman right there. That's vintage King Freeman.
Yeah, I love to see it. The O-line, as a former O-lineman, I'm going to give praise to the O-line. Freeman did a lot of the work, but you don't get any of those carries without the big guys up front opening the holes for you.
You're right. If you can't get past that initial push, initial front line, you're not going to make people miss in the back end.
Well,
so we'll make sure. I'll make sure we give those guys some credit when we come back out there. We'll let them hear their names on the video whenever they come back and watch it. You're right. It doesn't happen often. Especially offensive linemen rarely ever hear their name, and when you do, it's usually because it was for something
you're
bad.
Right. You got a false start or a holding or the clipping, or whatever that gets called on them. That's the only time they ever hear the name. But man, give Freeman a lot. He does get a lot of credit on that drive. That was amazing.
Yeah, John Tate scored our extra point. And like I said, I'm probably going to forget some of these times, but that was a cornerstone home-lending touchdown by your Robinson Senators. And then we missed a few relentless performance training first downs.
All right, and we got the kickoff again to Vilonia. Another good one. And he catches it at the 4. They wouldn't have let that one go.
Yeah.
Oh, what a hit coming down on kickoff coverage.
Looked like that was Tank Reese right there, and you're 100% right. That's one as a coach because that would have made it to the end zone, or with its trajectory, it might have went out of bounds. But as a coach, you're like, man, just let that one go. If it goes in the end zone, we get the ball at the 20. If it goes outside, even out of bounds, even better.
Yeah, and really, Vilonia with the throwing offense, you don't want to set yourself up too far back because then if you don't. You don't get first downs, you don't move the ball, then you got to punt, and you ain't got that great of a punter, unless
field position.
Yeah, it becomes a field position thing. Vilonia going 5 wide.
I like to spread it out.
Yep. He's going to roll out. Nobody really open. He's going to lose. That's going to be a sack on the play.
Hey, as a coach, you at least want to have him throw it away. Ashton Williams came up and kind of forced him out of bounds along with 56 there. 56.
Chase Swede?
Chase
I believe that
Swede.
is
Chase
last name,
Swede
yes.
gave you the initial pressure there, and then Ashton Williams came and helped out a little bit towards the end.
As we're going to have a loss of about 5 on the play, really setting yourself up behind the sticks. And the Senators' secondary doing an outstanding job so far. We're going to go to the play. Yep, the running back leaking out. Great tackle. Great open field tackle. Who else, man? His name's going to be called a lot tonight. Williams just flying around.
He's making a play for that player of the game, and we're just in the first quarter.
Right.
But his name.
I mean, we just started.
I mean, how many plays have we not called his name on defense so far? That, like you said, really good tackle coming up because that running back had space. Because second and long, you're going to let him dump that off and expect you can make the tackle.
Yep. And that's what I said earlier. The Senators really got to, if they can fly to the ball and make those tackles, let them throw it around. Great coverage there. Incomplete. It's going to be 4th down.
And that was number 0, Gabriel Bonner on coverage there. Like you said, I mean, he had receiver blanketed right there, got his hand in and knocked the ball out. And, in an offense like this, they're running a lot of crossing routes and pick routes where they're crossing their receivers. And you're going to get people open. They're going to complete balls. Can you make the tackles, though?
Yep. And so far the Senators have answered, yes, we can. We'll fly to the ball. We'll force the guys back inside to guys like Ashton Williams and others that, really once you go back inside, you're not expecting it. And then, bam, you get your clock cleaned a little bit. Going to get a punt here.
Chase Nichols and Brandon Grill back, as per usual.
That ball's going to go out at the 30. They're going to give them the 40-yard line on that punt. So Senators are going to start out with great field position.
I was like you said, taking the ball out, taking that sack early. I mean, you're setting yourself up for losing the field position battle. Now we got it on their side of the 50.
Yeah, and when you come out with a good rushing attack like they did in the first drive. I mean, it's the Vilonia D's got to really get in there and make some plays. You got to know the run's coming, but you got a good offensive line and a guy like Freeman running the ball. It's hard to make those plays sometimes.
I guess we missed a hold or something. I didn't see the flag.
Yeah,
They backed us up
either.
10. But real quick, while I've got some time, I said we're going to mention those offensive linemen. We got 53 Micah Pennington, 50 Jacob Patton, 54 Julian Campos, and I'll get the last 2 after this play.
Setting up, we're going to throw the first one. We got a wide open guy, and it's just a little overthrown, but that's all right. It's good placement on the ball. If he can catch that, make that first guy miss, he's got a lot of green over there to work with.
Just real quick, number 55, our center, Fuller Hewells, and 77, Tanner Drew. And 77 is the center, and then 55 is our right tackle. But make sure we get those guys mentioned. They've been putting in work all year. You need to get get their name on the air for sure.
Oh yeah, and a good rushing attack starts with a good big center and Tanner Drew, and they're doing work.
5'11", 270. There.
Freeman again, man, just making guys miss. And we got a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. Kind of in the area of holding, but we'll see what happens here.
You get a flag behind the line of scrimmage, behind the offensive line. Odds are, just like it is, it's a hold.
Yep, a holding call.
Go ahead.
When with running the ball comes, you'll get the holdings and this and that, what comes with running the ball. So, one is all right. We'll have to see if, keep a clean run game, and Senators will be all right.
Yeah, it's going to happen from time to time for sure. Whenever you run this type of offense, don't get too mad at them as long as they fix their mistakes as they go. And a lot of times whenever the running back or ball carrier bounces it outside, that's whenever you'll get – because those hands, as an offensive lineman, you're always holding.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of you keep your hands inside and it's not going to get called. But as soon as they get a little bit of room between you, you got to let go.
Yeah. And like you said, it's hard when they bounce outside. You want to, you're winning at the point of attack, and they bounce outside, and you just get caught sometimes. You go up the middle again, and it's just gaining yards. O-line getting up there and still pushing the pile.
It's just kind of a little ISO play, kind of, flip your hips as an offensive lineman, get in their way, and just let them run, into whatever hole shows up.
Going to gain about 6. It's going to bring up about 13 or 3rd and 14, excuse me.
What are we going to see here? Coming out and empty.
Empty. All right, let's see what Quentin can do here. Got trips to the far side. He's got great receivers to throw to. He's going to take off and run.
Room.
He's got a lot of room.
Oh.
He slides. He's going to be about 2 yards short. Slides. And as a young QB, it's good to see your QB take a slide.
Yeah, you can't. Some guys don't know how to slide.
Right. He took kind of a hit. They're going to bring him back 2 more yards. It's going to be 4th and 4.
That was an interesting no call. I mean, the guy that tackled him grabbed him from behind and kind of pulled it. Usually at that point, it looks like he might have had time to stop, but you spread it out. You got a guy back there that can run. You got to keep somebody in there as a spy if you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what they're doing 4th and 4 here. You got a good run game going. 4 yards should be nothing for Freeman, but we'll see. And QB's going to take it and pitch it out. What a play. He's going to get the first down.
Yeah, coach. Oh.
Big hit. I think it was Brandon Grill on the pitch play there, getting up kind of slow.
Yeah, it was Brandon Grill, and hopefully it's one of those things where, the way he landed could have got the air knocked out of him. He's running fine, so but you land flat on your back like that and you lose that oxygen. It's tough.
Yeah.
But that's their little their spread triple option. Coach Escola likes to run that, and Quentin's really good at holding it, and then letting it go right at the right spot.
May have got a little false start here.
Yeah, had a little false start, and Vilonia defensively, they're kind of saying you're not going to be this deep. They've been too high every single play except for that 4th down the play before that I can remember. Quentin is IDing them every snap, and they're too high. They're like, that's what we've done. We've thrown bubble passes, we've thrown deep balls, and we've completed those deep balls. Vilonia said you're not going to beat us that way. They're keeping those two safeties high and taking away that deep pass for the majority of the time.
Yeah, and the only thing is that leaves the run game open, which, the Senators are good at. Good completion from Quentin out there.
I believe it's Gabe Bonner. Yep, number 0. Gabriel Bonner on the catch.
And you love to see receivers when they got a guy on him still fighting for yardage. I wouldn't stick the ball out, but, he's got, fighting. And like I said in the pregame, these receivers are physical. They they're not scared to get hit. They're not scared to run with the ball. They're not scared to block. You got to love having guys to throw to like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he had 2 guys in the same area. It was a good throw. I like the play call there. It was a good throw.
He rolled out to the trip side, and I thought, Chase Nichols was going to kind of sit down in the hole right there, and I think that's who Quentin was really looking for.
Yep.
Chase to settle down there, but it's hard to throw it on the run. For anybody, and especially rolling out to your left, it's tough.
Yeah, as a right-handed quarterback, you're right. And then you got to throw it kind of back over the middle. Still 3rd down. Pressure coming off the side. Way to avoid it by Quentin. You get a good cleanup block back there, and he's going to go get the first down with that kind of speed.
Quentin just moved a little shoulder shimmy to let that outside that blitzing backer miss. And then guess what? You got a receiver, Gabriel Bonner, out there blocking once his quarterback starts running, and he blocks that corner to give Quentin room for the first down.
And it's got to, when you're that defender and you see the quarterback just standing there alone, and everything opens up and you're running at them and you're almost there and they kind of sidestep and got the speed to get out, you don't like it. You don't like having it happen to you.
Just like you said earlier with the quarterback, that's one of those your eyes get big and you're seeing.
Yeah.
It's big hit time, you know.
Drop back again. A couple more pass plays this drive. Oh, he's got a guy open.
There we go.
There he is. Big hit from behind. Number 2 there.
Caden Blaylock on the catch, though. He was running wide open across the field. And, Quentin's got some pretty good some pass blocking, too. He's got time. You had the one off the edge last play, but that guy came so far out. That wasn't the offensive lineman's assignment anyway. But he's had some time to stand back there and then, move a little bit when he needs to.
Yeah, I think that was a D lineman that made the tackle. And the good thing about tackles from behind is they push you forward, so he gained more yards. And Freeman's just going to take it in. We got another Senator touchdown.
Dylan Hunt was leading back there. You had Ashton Williams as your 2 lead blockers on that play. pushed their guys about to the middle of the O, and King Freeman could have walked in. He was untouched.
Yeah, I mean, when you got blocking like that, and you got your best athletes, your strongest athletes on the field, and it's just, our big versus your big, can you match it right here on the goal line? And so far, the Eagles haven't been able to, and the Senators really enforcing their will.
Kick by John Tate's good, and that's another cornerstone home lending touchdown. And we had probably 3 or 4 relentless performance training first downs on that drive. Getting better on the touchdown one. We'll try and do as good with the first downs. But, don't forget to reach out to Alicia Coleman for all your strength and conditioning needs, and reach out to Dio Vanucci for all of your home lending needs at Cornerstone Home Lending.
We do apologize for the missed advertisement there. We're not doing it on purpose. It was my first time here with the Robinson Sports Network, so we're still a little work in progress.
We're gonna get you. I'm gonna get your airtime. I'll do my best.
All right.
Just get into talking about the game, and you forget. Oh, that's a relentless performance training first down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneak you in though whenever I can though now.
When you have an offense, too, that's, exciting to watch, and they're moving the ball good and moving the ball, rather quickly, not, just hyper speed. But, sometimes, like you said, you just focus on the game.
It's another good kick.
And they're down inside the 5. And getting downfield, filling their lanes, and making the hit when they get.
Like 5 guys down there, 34, 32, 23. It's a whole host of them. And, you like those touchbacks, but if you're going to pin them inside the 20 each time.
Yeah, if they're gonna take it and not let it bounce in the end zone, they're going to take it. And you got your guys, you got the athletes that are fast enough to get down there, shed the blocks, and make the tackles. Hey, you take it every time. And like we said the last 2 drives, Vilonia starts back deep, not severely deep in their own territory, but they try the run play there and a big hit from the interior D-line.
Let's see. If he'll turn, it's something 4.
I think it's 54.
54, yep.
Julian Campos on the tackle there, as a D tackle, shedding the block, making the tackle, parallel to the line of scrimmage. You love to see it.
Flat down the line. It's impressive. Got a little motion.
Yeah, throw the ball. QB going to take off.
He tried to slide, but you had number 20. Number 20 got to him as he started to slide, LaFonso Burrell. You also had Tank Reese there to help pull him up. And, he had some places to throw it early, but, this drive and last drive, he's not been able to find a whole lot of space. But that does bring us to the end of our first quarter. So we'll be back for more Senator football on the PCSSD Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports right after this break.
Alicia Colvin and Relentless Performance Training helps athletes achieve their optimal performance with everything they need to build the best strength, agility, and conditioning, with a heavy focus on injury prevention, performance, psychology, flexibility, and more. Some of the services they offer include sports performance assessments, education on strength and conditioning, muscle versus joints, flexibility, core, legs, upper body, resistance training, nutritional supplements, recovery, and injury prevention. Give strength and conditioning coach Alicia Colvin a call, just like Senator cornerback Quentin Murphy did, for your personalized plan.
All right, and we're back with some Robinson Senator football on PCSSD Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. So, 14-0 lead after that first quarter. Offensively, kind of letting the offensive line do what they want. They're taking the game into their own hands right now and letting the athletes go to work. But it's really that offensive line that starts everything, run or pass. And then defensively, getting some pressure. They completed some passes against us early, but looks like we kind of got them figured out a little bit on the back end, and he doesn't have as many places to go with the football.
Yeah, like we said, you sit back, you let them throw the ball wherever they want to. Obviously not everywhere, but you let them complete the pass, and then if you're there, if you do let them complete the pass, everybody's there to make the tackle, and they really don't get much yardage.
Oh.
They're in great coverage by Gabriel. Was it Bonner? Gabriel Bonner.
Yeah. Number 12 was the intended receiver, Nolan, and it kind of looked like it hit him in the face. That was a little rocket from the quarterback, McKissick. kind of hit him, was up on him a little faster than he thought.
Yeah.
Does bring up 4th down. Looks like this one doesn't look as much like their punt formation. Could be their little pooch punt.
Yeah, I think they're going to let the quarterback punt it out of there, which they haven't had too much success, from in the beginning of the game. We'll see if he can start getting a little more foot into it. Yeah. He's going to punt it. This one a little better. It's a little more, and it takes a great Eagle bounce.
He's going to try and pick it up and return it, though.
Pick it up.
Chase Nichols.
Getting outside and get yardage. There you go. Takes a big hit.
That's good. I mean, that was a much better punt than we've seen.
Yeah.
Then it took a really good roll, but Chase was able to chase it down. No pun intended there, but he was able to get some yardage, and he almost got us back to the 50. So that's a good return by Chase there.
Yeah, and that's the bad thing about, when you do get a good punt off out of that formation is if your guys can get down there to cover it in time. And there, they did a rather okay job. Just, Chase with the ability and the athleticism to take it outside and make a move. And just, you love that he quit running east and west and was like, okay, let me get some north yardage here. And
it was time to put his foot in the ground
and
go get some positive yards. And he did it, made a few guys miss.
We have a flag on the play. Looks like they're setting it back at the 20.
I missed it on the last punt too. I haven't seen the flag out there.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's out there, but so I don't know what.
I did see kind of on the sideline. Looked like a player may have gotten hit in the back or hit late over on the sideline. A Vilonia player flew into the sideline. It may have been something with that.
Gotcha. That could have been what it was. But Jesus a chance to rack up more statistics.
Yeah, that gives Noah 80 yards to work with here. Gonna throw it out in the flats.
That's Brandon Grill. Yep. Brandon Grill out there on the reception.
He's going to get about 5 on the first play. And I feel like, running the ball and then throwing these little outside throws, I feel like the Vilonia defense is like you said, they're keeping that too high. They're really kind of giving that to them. And the Senators have been able to make the plays once they do get the ball out there and run the ball to keep the drives going.
So you keep hurting them with that stuff, try and force them out of that too high, and then that's when you go over the top on them.
You got a feeling it's coming soon, but they keep the two back there. And we'll see more. We'll see more Noah running. We'll see more Quentin running. As mentioned, Noah takes it up the middle, keeps the legs churning. The O-line comes back to help. You're gonna get a first down.
He did. I mean, in the pile there, it was tough to see, but he had guys flying around him, but they were falling off, and he got an extra 3 yards or so there, and. Not going to forget it this time. That was a relentless performance training first down. What we got? We got a Vilonia Eagle. The refs are right in the way.
I think it's a Senator. Maybe. It's an Eagle. Yeah, the refs are kind of standing in the way. You got an injured Eagle on the play here.
I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully we'll be able to tell you who it is as they hopefully get him up and walk off, but, definitely hope that kid's okay. The trainers came out pretty quick, and he's still laying down. You hate to see that for anybody, no matter who you're cheering for.
Yeah.
These are just kids, but hopefully we can get him up. He's moving some, so they got him rolled over. Just kind of keep it here and see what happens right here. Don't want to, at a time like this, I don't really care to talk about football.
Yeah, we can help the athletes.
We can worry about the game after, and we'll just kind of let these guys work and not take too much attention from it. There you go. All right, he got up at least. That's always a good sign. Number 20. I think it's 22. Their arms are in the way, but it looks like 22. Don't know that I have a name. Yeah, I got it. The last name of Jones, number 22. But he is walking off. It's always a good sign. They can walk off under their own power. He's walking off slow, so hopefully that kid will be okay. Not sure if we'll see him the rest of this game just by how he's walking off the field.
Yeah, And that's one of the, when you get a good run game and the O-line in there pushing and everybody comes together like that, those are the bad things that can happen. Somebody gets an ankle stepped on or rolled over or something like that. Really hope he's okay. We go back out. Eagle there. Great tackle by number 4 out there.
The little bubble pass to Brandon Grill, and they just had a bunch of extra bodies out there. I think they have more bodies than we really could block out there on that pass. So, good scheme right there by the Eagles, and like you said, really good tackle.
But one of the good things about, if you can take good things from a loss like these, everybody's flying to that, when the guy goes out flying down to him, and that can open up, give a little pump out to him, and then throw it deep.
And Robinson loves their double moves. You set it up.
You go with the same play from earlier. Was he able to get it off?
I think, yeah, it's an incomplete pass.
Instead of taking the sack there.
I mean, that kind of looked a little bit like the triple option thing, but I think it was a rollout pass, and he just had a little outlet standing right there that luckily he was at least able to get it off and have a receiver in the vicinity before the sack. But it does bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 16, it looks like.
And he had 2 guys over the middle there. But, again, when you're rolling out as a young QB, that's such a hard throw across your body. Your momentum's going. It's a hard throw to make.
And I would bet he's coached most of the time. Don't throw it back across your body. That's when you're – especially, you're going to put the ball in trouble. You throw it back across the body.
Little screen play again. He's got great blocking over there. And look, there he goes.
Uh-oh. And is he going to outrun him to the pylon? Now they got a good angle. Oh.
No, they get him out. I'm going to say the 6.
That was close. That's a good angle by the backside D-backs there, but that's King Freeman there for you. He takes a little screen pass, has some good blocking, again, by the offensive lineman that got out there, and just it's off to the races down the sideline right there.
Yeah, whenever you run a screen play like that and you see the opposing team's numbers facing you, that's not a good sign for the defense.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like you said, King Freeman takes it up the sideline, and a good angle by number 1 there, safety, getting out there and making the stop. It looks like they got him at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, it was good. Noah Freeman coming to catch a little breath. That's a long run. Tank Reese in at running back.
And QB, man, takes a hit but stays up. That gives enough time for the rest of the Vilonia defense to get over there and stop him.
He never went down.
No.
They get 4 progress stops. They blew the whistle, but that's as a coach, you kind of hold your breath right there when your quarterback lowers his shoulder. I mean, Quentin, he won that battle right there, and he's willing to lower his shoulder too.
You go out there and say, okay, he's delivering hits. I can deliver hits.
Oh,
and a great.
That was just.
Yeah, it's one of the few times the O-line, somebody squirts through.
That was kind of dead from the start. I think It came off the edge, and I think it's one of those things like earlier where they brought more guys than we could really block.
Yeah.
Looks like one of the offensive linemen was kind of taking credit for that. Good on him. But I'm not going to point anybody out for that, even if he is taking credit.
Yeah.
You've been playing really good. I'm not going to bring you up on that if you make one little mistake.
Yeah, you can't expect perfection out of anybody.
Not at all.
You got to love, though, when you see an old lineman say, hey, that was me. I missed that block, but I'm not going to miss it again.
And I bet you he comes back and makes up for it.
Good job by the O-line again.
And I tell you what, I was watching him that play, and I'm going to say it now because he just washed that defensive end all the way down for that easy touchdown. It was number 55, Fuller, and I want to say
I think it was
Hewis. Tank scored a touchdown,
Yep.
But Fuller right there washed that defensive end all the way down to the center and made an easy path to the end zone.
Another good PAT, and it's going to make the score 21-0 early in the second quarter. And like we talked about, the Senator offense just coming out and imposing their will. If you keep those 2 high safeties up there, we're going to keep giving it off to these 2 dudes, named Tank and Noah, that are just going to, have whatever they want out of this game, they're going to go get out of this game. So
yeah, they're still daring you to run the ball, so you're like, okay, we'll run the ball. That's what we do anyway. But had another Cornerstone Home Lending touchdown there. Make sure you contact our guy Dio. Text Dio to 36260. And then I did miss out. I think it was just 1 this time, so I'm going to make it up right here on that long run by Noah Freeman on that screen pass. It was another Relentless 517-9972 for all your sports training needs.
Yeah, we're getting better with the advertisement
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You know, we don't want those guys to feel left out at all.
I think we had 2 first downs there, and I was able to mention it twice. Maybe a little late on one, but, John Tate again in to kick it off back to Vilonia.
Let's see if they still decide to field it. If I'm over there on the Eagle sideline, just let it bounce into the end zone. You gain a couple more yards out of it.
I mean, because that's one, if you let it bounce, it's going to go in the end zone.
And he'll catch it about the 3 again. Gets a little more yardage on this one up the sideline.
And those are the things you don't like to see. That's why you like to kick it in the end zone.
Yep. Gives up to about the 33, 34-yard line. Is this the best field position they've had so far?
I think it's got to be. I mean, first kickoff, it's pretty close, because the last 2 possessions, they were inside the 20. So being able to get out, 33-yard line, it's a good spot to start for them compared to where they have been. Now it's just a matter of, can they complete some passes? Can they move the ball on this stout Senator defense?
Yeah, so far, guys like Williams just flying around, no matter what they've been able to do so far, he's been there. Try a run play, just nothing doing.
I mean, gets a yard, but you can have a yard.
Yeah.
You can get a yard every single play, and you're going to punt it every possession.
Every single possession. Good job by the interior defenders for the Senators there.
Yeah, we got 2 stout guys. Let's see who we get inside right now. We got Malik and Dylan inside right now. Got a little bit more speed in the middle right now for that pass rush, which you see right there.
Oh, and McKissick gets away from it, slides. Going to be a gain of about
7 or so.
7 or 8 yards.
3rd and 2. He went into a slide again, but you kind of see what they're doing right here. Vilonia's going to throw the ball. Okay, we're going to put some of our fast guys in there to interior defensive line and just get at you.
And that time they were there, just a good job by McKissick, squirting out, getting away.
He showed a little bit of speed right there that we hadn't seen yet.
You got a 3rd and short, and they're 5 wide, He'll drop back, throw a screen play, and it's blown up, man.
Evans O'Lammy right there. And Evans had a really good game so far this quarter, too. We've called Evans' name a lot on defense, called Ashton's name a lot. It's the most we've got to call Evans. I mean, Evans is out there on defense and offense every game, and he's out there. He's doing his job. Nice to see, be able to give him some credit now. And their pooch punt formation
it'll be
again.
The pooch punt again. See if he can get similar punt like he did last time. It'll get it,
They're just going to play defense on this one. 4th and short, just let them punt it. We'll go to work.
About the 14-yard line.
That's one thing. It may not stay in the air too long, but he's got the right rotation on it. That thing rolls an extra 10 yards when it lands.
14 or 15.
Got about 6:30 left in the half. 21-0. Your Robinson Senators are leading the Vilonia Eagles. Coming back out on offense, see if we can put another one in there, get up 28 on them. What do you think we're going to see? Think we're going to see a run or a pass first play out the gates here?
I think we're going to see Noah. He's going to
I think so too.
Give me the ball.
There's no reason to get cute yet.
No.
Stick with what's working, right?
Yeah. You can give it to Noah Freeman, King Freeman, and he's gonna do his thing.
Are we holding every single punt?
I have yet to actually see the flag out there. I apologize to the viewers. Like I haven't.
But I've not really seen unless I missed it. I mean, I don't know.
It's been like you said, every punt. Oh,
I don't know. That's something I'll just have to go back and watch and see what I'm missing, because every punt we've backed up 10 yards.
That's all right. Guy like Freeman's like, okay, well. Cool.
Look, guys, if you want me to get more stats, that's fine. Just tell me.
Yeah, I was planning for 200, but 300's cool. We're going to take a deep shot here. Great defense. The DB there, 15, had the inside on him, and
that's great defense by Gabriel Bonner too, not letting the pick happen.
Yeah.
Those situations, if you're not going to be able to go up over him, you start playing. You become a D-back right there, just trying to break up the pass as an offensive player. But, we've been talking about it. They kind of took their shot right there, got backed up a little bit. But, again, they were still in too high. They had the safety coming over to help, so it's tough to complete those. You got your corners bailing, you got safeties over the top.
They got one high this time.
Okay.
Go back to one of your matchups. See who you like one-on-one, go back to it, or give it to Freeman again. That's what they do. He just gets in their interior and pinballs around. Is able to break away, but the Eagles come back. Good on them to swarm over to the ball. Because you can't let a guy like Freeman pinball his way around there because that hole's going to open up eventually, and he's going to go, 85 yards to the house.
I mean, he bounced off of 3 guys right there, got a couple extra yards to bring up a 3rd and 4.
A team like the Senators, when they get in the 3rd and 4 backed up like this, that's nothing to them.
No, they don't. You got a quarterback that can run the ball.
Yep. Still fighting for yardage. And I think they're going to give him the first down.
Did that? He got 5 yards. They needed 4. Quentin got wrapped up early, and he kept fighting. He threw a guy off of him. I mean, that's really good fight, extra effort. That 3rd effort to get that extra yard to keep the sticks moving for a relentless performing first down.
We got it that time.
Relentless. Alicia Colvin does good work. We saw it with Quentin Murphy that first week against PA. Had a little ankle injury. Came back next week against Forest City with as good as new. Got some work by his trainers at Relentless Performance Training and by his coaches at Robinson.
Roll out.
That'll just
Ooh,
that might be
dangerous.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see a flag on. There it is. Intentional grounding. He, just tuck that one away. Don't sling it.
Yeah, you understand, kind of why he did it, but then it becomes very dangerous. That ball bounces funny. Bounces the wrong way, bounces backwards. Just sling it like that, and somebody gets a lucky interception.
Yeah, so do get an intentional grounding. Kind of looks like they were looking deep again. They ran bubbles with their slot guys and ran both outside receivers deep, and they've got those deep balls covered with that extra safety. So, not a whole lot there. So he was just trying to make something out of nothing, but brings up a long 2nd down after that loss of down on the intentional grounding.
And you got to wonder if the Senators are kind of just wanting to put this game away here. Get that one more score, put the game, kind of almost a proverbial knockout punch, if you will, and taking a couple more deep shots this drive.
They are, you were hoping you got them softened up, but they're sticking to their game plan. They're saying if you're going to score on us, it's going to have to take a little bit.
Oh, and a dangerous throw across his body, like we talked earlier. Like we said earlier, you never want to throw the ball back across your body because that kind of thing will happen. The Eagles will get an interception. They'll start with great field position inside the 15.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's why you don't want to do it. You can't see those guys back across coming from inside, and you throw it across. Accuracy's not great. That's a big learning moment for Quentin right there for sure.
But if we learned anything tonight, the defense can, they can step up to this kind of challenge being backed up.
Absolutely.
We'll have a timeout for the Senators here.
All right. Takes a timeout with about 4:50 left in the 2nd quarter. You got a big switch like that in momentum and stuff. Coach Escola and defensive staff, defensive coordinator Tyler Uptergrove and Benjamin Shields, really want to make sure the defense is ready to go. They know what to do. You're backed up inside the 20 for the first time. Just make sure they've got their game plan right and they're, ready to go and to do what they need to do.
Yeah, and most times after an interception like that, the intercepting team, their offense will have, a momentum play or something that, a big change in momentum. They'll run out there and see if they can't take a deep shot or run one of their better offensive plays to keep the momentum going, especially down here, inside the opponent, 15-yard line. You want to run a play like that, see if you can sneak a score in before half, see if you can, do something to move the ball. But
always your big shot plays. You're right.
We'll see what they do here. Got the trips to the far side, and he looks that way. He's going to throw a slant, and it's just covered up. QB took a big hit there, too, by the defensive lineman. Tank back there. And
getting up real slow. That was number 4. Jamarcus Brown on the coverage for the Senators. Like you said, 18 McKissick took a big shot. He's got a little bit of a limp going on now.
Yeah.
He's struggling.
Yeah, it looks almost frustrated. That would be too. It's just kind of one of those nights where, a lot of the plays are there, but the Senator defense is just so good at covering it up that, they make the plays. You hand it off outside, and he's struck down.
54 again. I mean, it's your interior lineman. That's Julian Campos again, but he's showing off some speed tonight, too. That was an outside zone that he was able to chase down and tackle for a loss. That's really good to see from some of those interior D linemen.
Yeah, you gotta love it when they're shedding the blocks, beating the O-line to the hole, getting through there, and just making a nasty hit in the backfield.
We're going to have an Eagle timeout. You get the ball down here on a big momentum swing inside the 20 for the first time. One incomplete pass, one negative play. Now it's 3rd and 12. As an offense, that's deflating. You had the momentum. That was your chance to really kind of turn this game around. But Robinson Senator defense, they had their little timeout. They got their heads right, got back in the space they needed to be, and they've made some plays here. Hopefully they can keep it going 2 more plays. And I really wonder, to me, you get to 4th down here unless it's just, if it's 4th and long, I don't even know if they could kick it, but I would anticipate them going for it, being down by 3 touchdowns already, close to halftime. I don't know that a field goal really helps you if they can kick a field goal.
Yeah, and then, it becomes kind of a field I guess possession. The word escapes me. The field possession, wherever you don't get the 4th down, it still, backs the Senators up. They're going to run another run play.
They had, Vines, number 1, back there at quarterback, so they kind of wonder if 18, their McKissick is still got a little limp. They put their receiver, Vines, back there, probably their best athlete on the team, back in that Wildcat. And it looks like they are going to run out.
I'm going to try and kick a field goal here.
Running out the field goal team. Let's see who that kicker is whenever we can get a view of the number. Looks like a 73 kicker for. Yep, 73 is the kicker back for Vilonia.
All right.
Kicking about a 26-yarder. Looks like he gets it in.
Bring the score to 21-3. The Eagles finally get on the scoreboard. With 3:40 left till halftime here.
As a defense, though, you like to see it. That's. You give it to them inside the 20. Yep. You make them lose yards. The first 2 plays, hold them to a field goal. So that's a big stand by your defense to only give up 3 on what could have been a big momentum shifter.
And as a quarterback, you got to love that too, because you throw the interception, then you see your defense go out there and get the stop, and they get a field goal out of it. The bend don't break, that's fine. But you throw an interception, your defense goes out there and balls out. It makes you feel. You don't want to throw the interception, but it makes you feel better knowing you can trust your defense.
Yeah, but, just as the quarterback, that's one of those things. It's like, all right, they got my back. I'm okay. I can come back. I'm going to forget it, move on to the next play, next possession. That's out of your mind now, especially since that touchdown didn't happen. But before I forget, that was another Cornerstone home lending touchdown, even whenever the opposing team scores. We still got to talk about our man Dio Vanucci over at Cornerstone Home Lending. It's our first attempt at a kickoff return here.
We'll see if we can get a return on one.
27, I think, on the return.
He's got a hole. Oh, and he just didn't have quite the speed to make it up through there.
I think that was Caleb Jones on the return, 27. Yep, that's who it was.
Got a flag on the play.
So I wonder if on these special teams plays, a lot of times it's going to be a holding or a block in the back. I wonder if that's what's happening to us on those punts too. We're getting some, just get some hands and grabbing sack.
Yeah, and that's when you just got to tell your players, when you see the back of the jersey, you see, they don't have names on the jersey, but you see the nameplate, you see those numbers back there. Don't, just let them go. Don't touch them.
Can't touch them. It is what it is.
So that'll back the Senators up again.
It's something Coach Escola is not going to like. Nearly every special teams plays so far, you've had a penalty. Yeah. It's going to be some time spent in the film room talking with those guys and making sure they know, kind of got that one high look again from the defense. See what we decide to do with it this time.
And 3:33 left till half. They may start taking some more shots right here before half just to kind of get that knockout punch, like I said. They're going to run with Freeman. Makes a man miss, gets up to the safety. They're just not able to bring him down, and Freeman's off to the races. He cuts back. He's still bouncing off of him.
Now with Freeman, I tell you, he probably broke a tackle by nearly every player on the defense right there.
Yeah, it looks like Joe Adams back for Arkansas on the punt return.
Looks like it's somebody.
You want to hope that's not Freeman that's injured.
It is Freeman that's down on the ground. Let me see if.
And if it is, that chase down tackle kind of, when you
get rolled up.
Yeah, chasing the guys, you tackle them from behind, you roll up on those knees and those ankles.
Let's see if we can see what they're going to look at on him. Looks like his right ankle they're messing with. And like you said, you get rolled up. And it's easy for those ankles to get caught underneath. So hopefully it's just a little tweak and, it's not going to hurt him too much and he'll be able to come back. But
yeah, it looks like he's trying to get up already. There he is. That may be one of those things too, where you get rolled up on, you get your ankle, it kind of not necessarily pops, but it moves a weird way, and you kind of get more scared and think you're more injured than you are, and hopefully he is okay and it's not a serious injury, but
he's got a little bit of limp coming off, but it's as he walks, it's getting better. But that's another relentless performance training first down, and maybe Noah wants to get a hold of Alicia and see about some of that injury prevention and that that healing that she worked on Quentin.
Yeah, go over there, get him upright, and he'll be running that thing again next weekend.
But it's good to see him. You get a little limp still, but you can walk like that. It's usually a pretty good sign.
Yeah. And, the QB is going to take it again, get tackled in the backfield, loss of about 2 yards there.
Quentin's slow to get up now. It's his hand, his left hand, it looks like.
Yeah, it's non-throwing hand, correct?
So, I believe so. So, it's, he looks like he's fine. He's kind of shaking it off. Probably got, stepped on or laid on a little bit.
Yeah. Looks like they're bringing in the beef again, the physical players over there on the left side. It was a 44 Dylan Hunt and
Ashton Williams 6. That's
that came in.
Their heavier package.
Give it to Tank right over there where the heavy package is, and he's just going to bulldoze his way.
He's about on the 1-2 yard line.
Yeah.
And Tank Reese, he's hard to bring down too. You got a freshman, but he's a big, strong freshman that he doesn't go down easy as well.
It's great to see a freshman running the ball like that. You come up, you're playing varsity. A lot. Sometimes, when I played, we had a couple of freshmen that played, and they were kind of timid, kind of scared. But you love to see, 4 or 5 games into the season now, and he's taking it over. There he is.
It's another Dio Vanucci and Cornerstone home lending touchdown. And that's good, like you said. That's good to see. And even from summer ball, that's one thing that Tank has not been. He has not been one of those freshmen that were timid. From game 1, week 1, summer, practice 1, he's not been timid. He knows that he can go, and he knows he can hang with the big boys because he's just as big as the big boys.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like I said earlier, whenever I turned on the film and Tank was just Tank, Tank on the tackle, Tank with a big hit. Sometimes you forget he is a freshman.
Mm-hmm. But John Tate was able to put in that extra point. And it looks like they're working to tape up Noah's ankle down there. So that's always a good sign whenever they're trying to put tape on it. To look like get him back out there. So, you like to see that he's not hurting enough. He's not hurting enough where he thinks that he should probably come out. They're just going to tape it up, reinforce it a little bit, and probably get him back out there.
Yeah, with the score going, the momentum we've got going here, you hope Tank, or not Tank, Noah Freeman doesn't get hurt, too badly. Probably play 1, 2, 3 more series and probably call it a day for him.
Oh yeah, just get him a little bit more work. See if it. The thing is though, going into halftime, that's whenever stuff like that really starts to tighten up.
Yeah.
So really see if he can keep it loose at half and come back out.
Another kickoff here. Let's see if he can push this one out the back of the end zone.
A little higher kick there.
Oh, and he's got a hole.
Got a flag in coming in
they
late.
They may call holding on this one. I think that's why there was such a big space over there on that far side.
Yeah, it looked like I saw one too, and that's why you like to put it in the end zone. If we don't have that hold, maybe we make the tackle, maybe we don't, but that would have been a big play. So that's why you like John to be able to put it in the end zone. And he's just been a little short this week, but he's got it again. That's a sophomore that's doing that kicking too. So, but gonna back him up, make him go a little bit further. They've only got about a minute 32 left, so not a whole lot of time. So that's a big change in the game right there. If they were to get it down there on the 30 or wherever they were, it's a lot easier to score in a minute 30 from the 30-yard line, from your defense's 30-yard line compared to your 30-yard line. But they're going to come out and try and catch you on some deep stuff, try and move the ball a little bit here.
And see if they can kind of, run a couple of routes together and see if they can just, get someone open.
He's rolling out.
Everybody's
covered.
It's covered. Yeah,
everybody's covered.
Get sacked.
Looking back here in the back, everybody he looked like he had a Robinson Senator standing right there with him. Was that number 20? I think LaFonso Burrell that came up with a sack. That's who it looked like was getting up.
I believe so.
Got a timeout. I imagine. I didn't see who they said it was, but after a play like that, I would imagine that timeout came from Coach Escola, trying to get his offense one more chance on the field. But if it's 2nd and 20 now, usually offensively, you might not call that timeout.
Yeah, I think it was the Coach Escola that called the timeout there, like he said, give the offense one more chance out there. And really that may be, for one, you want to score, but to kind of get, Freeman back out there, let him run a little bit on that ankle or the foot, whatever injury he has, see if, sometimes those things will just shake out, work themselves out. It doesn't, like you said earlier, they're taping him up. Doesn't seem like it's anything too awful.
He's got a coach over there. He's still sitting down. No reason to stand up yet. Got a coach over there talking to him though. And you wonder if it's one of those things like, look, man, you can go, but do we really need you to go right now?
Right. Right, and it's still, fairly early in the season. They're going to run it.
Looks like Vilonia going to make them use your timeouts, kind of concede to a punt unless they, try something tricky here, but make you not have any timeouts left so that you've got to go down with, a minute. It'll be less than a minute now. We're out of timeouts, so it'll be a 40-second or so ran off after the next snap. So, you'll have about 40 seconds left, when we get the ball back or so. But, if you watched last week's game, all we needed was 3 seconds on the clock last week at the end of half.
I was just about to say, 40 seconds, they're looking at the clock like, man, we got a long time. Let's go score.
But you see what Vilonia is trying to do. They're trying to, get into half with the score as it is, take off as much time as they can. Because if you throw the ball here, have an incomplete pass, it's a free timeout.
Yeah, I imagine they'll probably run a little.
That's what I'm looking for here.
A good sign that Freeman is up walking around on the sideline now.
All right, that's good. Don't forget, we got about a minute 17 now left in the half, so don't leave us at halftime. We will have the Robinson Senator Band performing at halftime, and we'll stick with them, and we'll watch them, make sure that you get some good music, some good band in your life at halftime.
A lot of, there's the narrative that a lot of football players don't care for the band, but the band is, especially in high school football, comes in clutch a lot, playing the songs, playing all that. You can really feed off the momentum. You get a good song playing. You want to, you feel good. You want to play better.
We get a timeout from Vilonia now. I guess they're wanting to see how we came out defensively. I don't know what happened there, but what you're saying with the band, whenever I play the band, they bring as much of the atmosphere to a high school football game as anything.
Yeah.
It's, as a player myself, I love the band. Anytime we won, we'd go dance with the band after the game. So, it's, as a football player, I like the band. The band, it really helps bring that real high school football atmosphere. You don't get it in the NFL. They have the bands in college, but with how many fans you got there and
Right.
how loud it is, it's tough to hear. But, you get a lot of fans here at high school, but that band can still outplay the cheers from the fans.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. They go 5 wide, so maybe they are going to try a little trick play or something.
Be interesting to see them throw it. If they got an incomplete pass here, like I said, that's a free. And that's
it bounces up and it's going to be picked off. That's
exactly what you want right there.
great. Great case scenario. Number 9.
So Evans Olamy, he has had a game tonight.
Yeah.
Him and Ashton, Noah Freeman obviously has had a really good game, player of the game, but we've already given it to Noah's once, so, if I can give it to somebody else, Evans is having a heck of a game along with Ashton, so we're battling it out on the defensive side of the ball right now. And look who's back in the game. Number 15, King Freeman. He said, look now, it hurts a little bit, but that ain't going to keep me out of this ball game.
Said, I'm okay, Coach. Let me run the ball.
But, we thought an incomplete pass would be bad for him right there. Little did we know.
Right.
That's the last thing you want. You don't want to give him a free timeout. You definitely don't want to give him the ball.
Right. And as well as the center defense have been playing, you knew a pick was coming soon. In your pass, you want to see the receiver get out of bounds there.
He thought he could make a guy miss, but just
Yeah.
keep running to the sideline, get a couple extra yards, get out of bounds, keep that clock from ticking. But on a positive note, we're inside the 30.
Yeah.
Right, so it's not like you got to get a whole lot of yardage, and you've still got 50 seconds on the clock. So you've got time right there, but from here on out, I think you're going to be aiming for the sideline.
We're going to take a shot here.
Oh,
What a
my
catch.
goodness. Brandon Grill. And Quentin Murphy put that ball exactly where it was supposed to be. He saw that safety coming down, kind of back-shouldered it, and Brandon Grill just showed off his athleticism. That's why he's an Arkansas State football commit.
Yeah. Red Wolves getting a great athlete out of him.
30 seconds left on the clock.
He's got. Oh, he had Freeman over there on the wheel route.
Does he get – it don't matter,
runs it
though.
in himself.
He finds a hole, and he gets in the end zone. That Quentin Murphy doing some magic over there. Go ahead.
Well, you say, I saw Noah leak out there. I kind of thought that what the play call was going to be, but then, like you said, Quentin just was like, well, Noah can't have all the shine today. I'm
He's
going
like,
to
look,
get my
man,
own.
I got to show him I can run the
Right.
football too. It's hard to tackle Quentin Murphy, just like it's hard to tackle Noah Freeman, right?
Yeah. And like we said earlier, the time limit, they're looking up. You get the interception, you get more time. This offense, the way they're moving.
That's a big, big mistake, especially before I forget, cornerstone home lending touchdown by the Robinson Senators there. Did we? Yeah, we had a relentless performance training first down on that Brandon Grill catch. Make sure we give both of them their credit there. But, we talked about they ran the ball on 2nd and 20. At that point, you think, okay, we're just going to try and run it out, get as much time off the clock, punt it to them, and make them have to go, a long distance. They come out 3rd and 18, I guess, or so, close, and they decide to throw the ball, and not even an incomplete pass that stopped the clock. We get the ball, and we're inside the 30 with more than enough time to score. So that's a big momentum swing for the Robinson Senators that you really like to see the defense stepping up and, making it a 35-3 game, just 3 points away from, your sportsmanship rule coming into effect after the half.
Yeah, and as McKissick there, that's one of the worst things you can see is the ball bounce up in the air after an incompletion, and like I said earlier, the way the DBs for the Senators have been flying around, you kind of had the feeling they were going to get their play at some point.
Yeah, and that's with the speed you got, that ball gets up there. I mean, there's a good chance you're going to be able to pick that one off.
That's a good kick. That'll be in the end zone. There we go.
That's what you're looking for from Mr. John Tate right there. Don't even give them a chance. Let them start on the 20 every single time. I would rather them start on the 20 than have the chance of starting inside the 20, but also have the chance of, housing one.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, the kickoff return they had earlier, had that not been holding, he had a lot of room on the outside.
23 seconds left. I would assume now Vilonia is going to try and – no, it looks like they're in the what most call the victory formation. I wouldn't say it's victory right now, but that's what usually the name of it is. Looks like they're just going to
take a knee and go to half.
Take it to halftime. So that'll do it for the first half of play. Go ahead and please join us after the break. We're going to have the Robinson Senator Band. We're going to let them get set up, and then I'll kind of give them their introduction once they're on the field and ready to go. So join us after the break. We'll have the Robinson Senator Band, and then we'll have a little bit of a halftime recap after the band gets finished. So, join us here quickly. When the band gets out here, we'll introduce them, and we'll let them put on a show.
Acles Carver One.
We are more than a carpet store.
Get up to 50% store-wide plus no interest financing. Plus, add installation and get $300 cash back. We make it beautiful for less. Carver One.
We are more than a carpet store.
Get up to 50% store-wide plus no interest financing. Plus, add installation and get $300 cash back.
We make it beautiful for less.
All right, and we've got the Ackles Carpet One Floor and Home halftime show. Tonight's Robinson High Marching Band show is Feeling Good. The Senator Sound is under the direction of Ben Light, Daniel LaRue, Jay Martin, and Luke Allred.
A huge hand for the Robinson High School Senator Sound Marching Band.
All right, that was a great Ackles Carpet One Floor and Home halftime show there. To continue off earlier, the band is led on the field by drum major senior Abigail Henson, and will be they did perform two Jerry Burns arrangements, Mercy, 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 and Sing, Sing, Sing. Go ahead and connect with the boosters at senatorsound.org. Again, a great Ackles Carpet One Floor and Home halftime show.
equals Caleb Knight, Clay Paul, and Cody Jernigan. Flag and majorette coaches are Victoria Neal and Emily Lassiter.
Oh, my back.
The band is under the field command of drum majors Ryan Simmons and Savannah Love.
The field's wet.
Tonight, the Marching Eagle Band is proud to present their 2022 production, Wanted, Dead, or Alive.
listening. He's just playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vilonia High School Marching Eagle Band.
All right, welcome back to the Ackles Carpet One Floor and Home Halftime Show. Had two great performances by two great bands, your Robinson Center Band and your Vilonia Marching Band. So had some good music there. Got a little break here. So there's about 3 minutes left on the clock, so that's about 6 minutes total before we start back. Got the 3 extra minutes for the teams to stretch. So, we'll take a little bit of time. We'll reflect on our game here briefly, and then we'll take a look at some scores from across the PCSSD and across the state. So, just real quick, had a pretty good first half there offensively and defensively. The only points that the Vilonia Eagles scored were off of a turnover, an interception, that Quentin Murphy threw across his body. But the defense, they had it inside the 20 in the red zone from the start of that drive. Defense held them to a field goal. So got a 35-3 score here. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. We've stopped them every time on defense except for the field goal. We've scored every time on offense except for the turnover, the interception. So, I mean, is there anything that you see that's really stuck out to you so far?
I mean, other than Tank Freeman just being Tank Freeman, I mean, it just, like you said, this is one of those nights where really offensively, aside from the interception, which, Quentin will tell you, 9 times out of 10 he won't make that throw, but the one time he does, and it's an interception. Aside from that, the offense has really just been able to click on all cylinders and do what they want, and then defensively just physicality. I mean, they're completing a few, short 5-6 yard passes, but then everybody's there to make the tackle, and a few good plays by the D linemen so far.
Yeah, and King Freeman, as you said, King Freeman has been king tonight. Tank Reese also got himself a touchdown off of King. He had a little ankle issue, but we were able to see him come back in the game, and so that was a great sign for Noah there. And then defensively, we've seen Ashton flying across the field. We've seen Evans Olami really show up really good tonight. Like I said, whenever he had that pick, he plays every game. He's where he's supposed to be every time. It's just a lot of time the ball doesn't come his way, so his name doesn't get called. But Evans had the ball come his way a lot today, and he's stepped up to the plate every time it's come towards him. So, had a really good game by Evans as well as Ashton on defense. We've talked about Julian a few times getting down the line on the defensive line. Had sacks by Burrell. So it's just been a good game defensively all around as well. We're able to call more names tonight for the defense.
Yeah, it's really one of those games where your guys need to be your guys, and all of them have stepped up tonight in a big, big way, to make all the necessary plays.
That's true. So let's look at a few scores here before we run out of time. We're about down to 3 minutes before we start the half. So first we'll look at our PCSSD scores. So great news here for all you Pulaski County Special School District fans. If the scoreboard, the Fearless Friday scoreboard is right, at halftimes, the Sylvan Hills Bears are up on the Sheridan Yellow Jackets 21-7. We talked about early how Sylvan Hills has looked good in their games. They've just not been able to put it all together into one game, So it's good to see them come out strong in that first half, and hopefully they can finish the game out and keep that lead and come out with their first victory of the season. So a good 14-point lead for the Sylvan Hills Bears right now. And then Our other PCSSD's game is the Maumelle Hornets at the Mills Comets. Right now, the scoreboard shows it's halftime there as well. Mills has a 16-0 lead. So, Maumelle defense is, standing tough. We know how electric that Mills offense is. We've talked about it early in the pregame show. So to give up just 16 points in the half is, pretty good defensively by Maumelle. Just hopefully they can, you would hope they can get the offense rolling and give everybody a good game over at Mills, a good game to watch. We haven't been able to see anything, so we can't really make any comments on what's going on there. But just looking at the scores, a couple good games going on across Pulaski County Special School District. Is there any scores that you see that you might want to point out from around the state right now?
Oh, like you were just talking about Mills, just reflect on that real quick. Mills and their offense has been explosive, so Maumelle doing some good things, holding them to 16 at halftime, but then the Mills defense is very good, getting the shutout there. But then, earlier I pointed out the Pine Bluff and BB game, just as one of those where it's two good programs, see which one can make the turn. And currently Pine Bluff is up 34-7 over them, so,
That's, big by Pine Bluff. That'll be 2 really good weeks for them. They continue to play like that, so it is halftime over there. Also, the other 5A Central games, Watson Chapel and Marlton. Marlton's up 35-14 over Watson Chapel. So all but one game in the 5A Central tonight is kind of, one-sided. We've got Maumelle and Mills that's still got a game going on over there, but everybody else is kind of taking care of business in the 5A Central. And just, looking at some other games around the state and different classifications that have some interesting scores. Looking at Bryant and Jonesboro, it's 14-7 at halftime. Bryant up on Jonesboro. We know Bryant year in and year out for the past 5-6 years have just been dominant and been taking people to town. So it's interesting to see Jonesboro sticking in there with them. Rogers and Fayetteville. Fayetteville's up 14-13 over Rogers. It's another close game that you really wouldn't expect. Rogers did get better last year as compared to previous years. See if there's anything else real quick. We're getting close to kickoff of the second half here.
I'm just going to go to the 7A again real quick. Conway up 28-0 over North Little Rock. And North Little Rock's one of those schools where, that you see a score like that and you just ask how, because for as long as I can remember, North Little Rock's been a great program, but Conway has really been on the rise here lately. They beat that Louisiana school, which is a very good school, the other day. So Conway making waves in 7A.
Yeah, Conway is impressive. Their quarterback was a sophomore last year, and he was good last year. So, they've got a guy that can sling it back there. So, it'll be really interesting. The game, obviously, I'm sure a lot of the state's excited for, and something I'll definitely, hopefully, be able to go back and watch afterwards is that Bryant and Conway game this week, and this year, and see how that turns out. But, that'll do it for your Ackles Carpet One floor and home halftime show. We got the Senators kickoff return team is coming out, so it's time to start the second half of your Robin Senators versus the Vilonia Eagles.
Ackles Carpet One.
We are more than a carpet store.
Get up to 50% store-wide plus no interest financing. Plus, add installation and get $300 cash back.
We make it beautiful for less. At Ackles Carpet One.
We are more than a carpet store.
Get up to 50% store-wide plus no interest financing. Plus, add installation and get $300 cash back.
We make it beautiful for less.
All right, and welcome back. We just got the ready for play whistle, and the kick is off to start the second half of your game.
It's on a shorter kick of the 20. He takes it.
Number 5 on the return.
Oh, they got to call him down there.
It looked like he was down to me, but
They're coming in and waving.
Did we get the beanbag out, or what are we going to say?
They're right where he went down.
But that was number 5, Jaden Dotson on the return. We do have a discussion. They're going to say he was
I was
down.
going to say he was down.
I'd say it looked like he was down to me.
Yeah.
You know, even though, you know, obviously we're pulling for the Senators up here, to be unbiased, it did look like he was down, even if I was a Vilonia fan. Whew.
Yeah, nevertheless, though, it was close, you know, and ball security is a big thing, especially opening kickoff start the second half.
Yeah, we've talked about it from time to time on this broadcast so far. You've got to protect the ball, and you really need to here so that when you're getting in those tougher games, that it's even more important that you've practiced it, you've done well with it, and it comes through whenever you're in those closer games. Got to switch out the football here.
Yeah. Officiating crew getting a little 15 seconds of fame right here, holding the game up.
I think the first ball they tossed out didn't have the mark on it. You know, the refs will mark the balls that are good for game, and I guess that first one didn't have the right mark on it.
Starting in positive territory here. Going to load back and throw.
That was Brandon Grill, the intended receiver. And, you know, that's one of those where it kind of looked like he wasn't expecting the ball early.
Yeah.
Because when that ball was let go, you saw Brandon Grill kind of pick up some speed. He wasn't running from the start. Had he been running from the start, it looks like he would have had a chance. But still, they've got those two high safeties. He had a corner running with him, had a safety coming over the top. So even if he did get a chance to catch that one, he might have taken a little lick.
And that's just one of those plays you're going to get hit anyways. Might as well catch it if he could have. Freeman and the ball. I think he fumbled at that time. The Eagles got it.
There it is. Number 11 for Vilonia comes up with it. Cole. That one just came out. I don't know if it got ripped out or what happened. King Freeman was on the carry, and it came out. I kind of heard the crowd yell ball. I didn't see it come out, but I heard the reaction from the crowd there. So, you know, tough turnover there. Hopefully your defense can come out and, you know, not make it hurt you, really, you know.
Yeah, they came out earlier after a turnover and only allowed a field goal. Here, you know, backed up. You got the offense starting in negative territory. You know, you really want to hold them to a no score. Try a little draw play, and there again, you know, 5 or 6 yard throws. This one's going to go for about 8.
I caught it at about 6, got a couple extra yards. You know, playing pretty far off of them there, so – you know, that's what you would expect them to do. If you're going to play that far off, take those quick throws and just move down the field. But probably see them scoot up a little bit in coverage here.
Going to run it here, and he's going to get the first down.
Let's see, on the carry for Vilonia, there's number 41. Number 41 for Vilonia is Shaw on the carry there. He's got a few touches today, not as many as he might like, but, you know, whenever you throw the ball like that, whenever you're the running back, you get your carries, you need to make them count.
Yeah, and then when the score gets how it is, sometimes you got to throw more to get back into the game. And
you don't have an option.
Yeah. He'll take a one-on-one shot, and he's got him.
Oh, that was a ball.
Yeah, that was a good throw.
Wait, I mean, you had number 4, Jamarcus Brown in coverage on him, and then the safety was Evans Olamy coming across, and I mean, he dropped that ball. He just got behind number 4, and then Evans wasn't able to get there fast enough, and he put it right in the spot that it needed to be for it to complete the pass.
The Eagles with some momentum, see if they can capitalize off of it. Great play by the D-line there.
They brought number 1, Vines, back in there for their little – it looked like their run-heavy Wildcat-type package with – really they had 3 backs in the backfield because the quarterback was out at receiver. They lose a yard there, so that's good by the defense to stop on that little tricky formation that they ran.
And that's one of those things where you go to that, the defense is kind of like, okay, we kind of know what's coming, so able to get the stop there. I was going to say that looked like a late.
I think I don't know that it was whenever he hit him, I think it was just he kind of continued it later on. Like if he just would have kind of touched him, but he kind of continued through the hit and that took him.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get it's going to create the first down because, again, There shouldn't be any automatic first downs, but it's going to give a first down. It's going to give a relentless performance training first down for the Vilonia Eagles.
Going to create up a kind of tunnel screen. Great play by Ashton Williams there again, man. Gets up, shaking his head. No, that is a tough guy to fool and to get by.
And that was a really good tunnel screen. They had 2 offensive linemen out there to block one guy. That one guy was Ashton Williams, though, and Ashton Williams split those offensive linemen and made a great tackle, like you said.
Yeah, and for Vilonia, you know, when you have 2 linemen out there blocking one guy, that one guy you don't want to be is Ashton Williams, and that's who they got the matchup with.
Oh, that's a Brandon Grill interception at the 1-yard line. You can't really see it right here. You're kind of against the wall, so I'll get you on that one. But Brandon Grill goes up, gets that foot in, takes it down, and he's at it looks like the 2-yard line.
Yeah, here, you know, Brandon Grill's just, you know, like you said earlier, the A-State commit, amazing athlete. You know, he kind of caught it, got the foot down, just walked off like, all right, you know, defense, we did our job here. We gave him a little bit. We did our job. Offense, go do your job.
Brandon said, I'm going to go catch a breath real quick, and then I'll come back out on offense.
I'll be right back. Give me a minute.
That was a big interception, and that was an interesting play. They motioned to trips, then they rolled away from it to the single receiver side. So, you know, that's an interesting play design that I've not really ever seen.
Yeah, and it's to the smaller side of the field, too. Not a whole lot of room to work with. We're backed up deep in their own territory. This is where the run game really needs to shine. Able to get him 1 yard there.
I think it was still Noah Freeman back there. Can't tell for sure, but I imagine that's who it would have been. It was, and you know, Noah got touched. He had a foot in the end zone still and got touched by a Vilonia Eagle defender, but you know, he's able again to break that first tackle and make positive yardage. Looks like 2 yards maybe, so second and 8. Yep.
They're from the 5.
Brandon Grill's back on the field on offense. Didn't take long.
You got a false start. Not what you want backed up that far.
It's not. Luckily, it's just going to be half the distance. You're going to lose those 2 yards that you just gained, but, you know, it's not going to get you too much closer to the end zone.
Yeah.
Just the pre-snap stuff that you know you want to get cleaned up. Bring up 2nd and 10 again.
Luckily, though, for most of the day, these penalties that back them up a little bit haven't hurt them too much.
No, they've been able, you know, they've been behind the sticks. We've been able to, you know, gain that yardage and gain extra. And, you know, I guess our 2 times we haven't scored have just been turnovers so far. We hadn't had a punt yet. Done really good, you know, even when we get behind the sticks to gain those yardage and get the first downs. They're sending a house.
Yeah, they did. He broke through. That's the thing about Freeman, man. You could get their back on him, but he's going to get yardage.
And they did. Again, they touched him in the end zone. They brought the house on that play, and Noah, he breaks a couple tackles, and this time he got 6 yards.
That's just a testament, too, to him, you know, the O-line and him just really just, you know, we're backed up, but we're not going back any farther. Well, that's a flag. Going to roll out and take the sack this time. I think they got him at the 2.
Yeah, it's probably gonna bring up your first punt here for the Senators, but you know that's one time where Quentin he kind of learned a little bit. He said, "I'm not gonna try and fit this one anywhere. Just kind of take your lumps right here and you know save it for the next possession." But you know he had a guy open early, like right at the snap. But whenever it's a rollout like that, you know you can't really get it out as early as you want because you got to get your feet flipped around. And again, a right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left, it takes a little bit more time and some more mechanics to get the ball out accurately.
And they kind of did what Vilonia did on their offensive play. They rolled out to the short side of the field, so not a lot of room to work with. Vilonia had a ton of defenders over there, and like you said, it's a tough throw to make, and you don't want to throw it back over the field as he threw the interception earlier in the first quarter or first half.
Yeah, you're really taking away the room that you usually have on a rollout. You know, you like to have some space. When you're rolling out towards the sideline on the shorter end of the field, it does make it difficult. It looks like we had a timeout. Yeah, I think it was by Vilonia. Coach Lane Grell for Vilonia, he was coming onto the field, he was a little hot, and he's still he's not very happy over there in the huddle over there. I don't know what was wrong. I mean, to me, that was a good possession by the defense.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he didn't like how they lined up to return the punt or what, but he wasn't very happy with what just transpired there after that third down.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles came out, and this is one of the very few times they've been able to stop the offense tonight, especially back here deep. Maybe it was just an alignment or something. Or
I guess he didn't like what they looked like getting ready to return the punt. I don't know on that one. But got John Tate back there to punt the ball away for the first time tonight. It's a high kick, but not very far.
yeah, it's not going to make it to the 30. The Eagles are going to set up shop around the 27.
You know, that's interesting. That really shows you how much of a difference there is in kicking. There's a lot of
Yeah.
There's a reason in the NFL you have kickers and punters
Yep.
and not just people that do both.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like you said, as a sophomore, he's going to have plenty of time to work on that. And you see the leg strength there and the mechanics there. Just get everything to come together. Bologna's going to run the ball here.
Evans Olami on the tackle again. Was about a gain of 9,
Yeah,
though.
9. One of their better run plays for the night. Let's see if the defense can make a stop again.
They've stepped up to the plate twice already on turnovers.
Gonna run it again. Got a big hole there. Bologna may have seen something in the run game from the first half that they liked, and they're going to it here down deep into the Senator territory.
They kind of start looking like they got you on your heels, and now they're going to run it, change it up, do something against you that you don't expect them to. Now they're going to come out and empty with quads, but that was a relentless performance training first down by the Vilonia Eagles.
Now they'll go quads here, see if they'll take a shot to the single side. Well, they're going to go back into the run. He's got a hole open there. Great tackle.
Dylan Hunt chased him down from behind. That was, I think that saved a touchdown, him chasing him down. You didn't have an edge over there. And, I was wondering, they come out in quads like that, make you think they're going to pass it, and they motion him back into the backfield and kind of get you out of position. See, they're doing it again. Let's see if they motion him back into the backfield again, or if they are going to throw it.
Well, if they do, the guy who has contained on the far side's got to see that motion come back and know that they could be coming right back my way. They do this time.
Exact same thing.
Yeah, and he gets a little cut back.
The Senators did have time right there to run in. They ran in their big guys. They ran in Campos and Pennington in. They're like, all right, because they had their pass rush specialists in there in the interior, and they said, all right, no more of this. We're going to get our big, strong fellas in there. Some people call them big uglies, but I don't want to assume any of these. I imagine they're all pretty good-looking young men, so just the big guys,
Yeah. They've got the size in there to stop the run. You just got to. The DBs have been playing good all night. We got the interception last time about the same field position. They go back to the run.
We got delay a game. Timeout. Vilonia, it is. There are 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Vilonia's already used 2 of their timeout. I think they were on the heels of a delay a game there, so I imagine Coach Langrell is not going to be happy about that either.
No. We'll know why he's upset in the huddle this time.
But again, I said it last time, and they kicked the field goal and proved me wrong. But to me, a field goal does nothing for you here.
Yeah.
If it's still third down, so but if you can get the stop here on third down, I imagine you'll see them go for it on fourth, because a field goal does nothing for you in this situation.
No, and that's if you can get a little momentum, you score a touchdown here, and then you come back on defense and get another punt out of the Senators. You try and fight to gain momentum, even when a game like this doesn't look like it. You can make a comeback.
But as we know, it's not over until there's double zeros on the
over.
scoreboard.
So let's see, third down here from about the 3-yard line. See if the Senator defense can hold strong like they have all night.
Senator fans out here getting rowdy, stomping, willing their defense to get a big stop right here.
Let's see, they're going to try. Probably try and run it. He's going to roll out and pass. He's going to throw it out of bounds. Yeah,
he just swung it. He had pressure in his face quick, and that's one of those you just kind of throw it. I'm going to throw it. Hopefully I don't get hit, and maybe somebody will be there. But, again, those are those dangerous ones. Like, if he didn't put enough behind it, like that's one that was floating up in the air and, had a chance to be picked off.
Yeah, we've got plenty of guys sitting right there with a lot of green in front of them to catch that ball, go the other way.
So as expected, we're going to go for it on 4th down. Again, the field goal didn't do anything. Come out in doubles formation.
I'm going to try and run it again. Oh, the QB kept it.
He slid. All right, so he fumbled, but here's the thing. Okay, the rule on a slide is as soon as you go into the sliding motion, the ball's dead.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have been a fumble. Yeah, okay, there we go. And they said it should not have been a fumble, even though they recovered it.
Yeah.
And he slid before the end zone.
Yeah, he slid on like the
end zone, and then you slide.
And as an Eagle fan, you got to hate that there because he I don't want to say he had the touchdown, but it was there.
He had a good chance to score a touchdown.
He may take a hit there, but
that's another stop by your Senator defense down here in the red zone.
Another great stop by this defense. Now let's see if they can get out of their own end zone.
Because the ball is nearly on the goal line already.
We're going to throw here. He had – what number is that?
Maybe 16. He had 16 and 1. They were both running. So we know 1 is Chase Nichols, 16 is Kanan Bell. Both streaking down the field. And there might have been a little window there, I think more so for Chase. Pretty quick after the snap, but Quentin decided just to tuck it away, get a few yards, get out of his end zone, which it kept you from getting a safety.
Right, getting some more yards.
And now at least the ball's not touching the goal line whenever you snap it.
Good pass protection again. Now they're going to get him from behind now. He may have gotten a yard or two out of that. Looks like a yard.
He's keeping it positive, getting himself a little more room, and he's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 or 5.5 or so. It's tough to tell exactly where that stick is over there, but definitely 3rd and manageable. They were looking for some deep shots there. Imagine, maybe some shorter routes here if they're going to throw it again just to get to the sticks. Bringing in Ashton Williams, so he's usually back in that H-back sniffer position.
Yeah, it looks like they're loading it up on that left side. Just getting a little more pass protection in there.
He catches it, and he's right at the sticks. That was a good route. See where it spotted Chase Nichols on the reception. He ran, and they gave him the first down.
They're going to give him the first. All right, so that's what you want to do. Your first couple of plays, you want to get off your goal line. Then you want to try and go get that first down, and now, it's normal offense. We're ready to roll. That's
some credit you really want to give to Chase right there, running the route at the exact right depth to get that first down.
And that's what coaches preach, know where the sticks are on offense and defense. Low snap, but he picks it up, gets it to King Freeman there.
It's a good run.
May have run for another first down. No, it'd be about a yard short.
But that did remind me, we did just have a relentless performance training first down on the previous play, and now it's going to make it 2nd and 1. Knocking on the door for another.
Another low snap.
Looks like, again, he was going to try and hand it to King Freeman, but low snap, so King Freeman becomes a blocker. Quentin Murphy makes something out of nothing, gets 2 yards, and gets another relentless performance training first down.
Somebody's slow to get up.
It's Quentin Murphy that was slow to get up. So, wonder if we'll see Connor Grisham here, the backup quarterback. Quentin's going to stay in there for now.
We're going under now 2 minutes, left in the third quarter.
It's been a pretty fast third quarter. Had a lot of run plays, even on Vilonia side. So even though the clock's still stopping, it's been running pretty much this whole time.
A good snap there. They're going to throw it out.
Chase Nichols has to catch it twice.
Yeah. That's just a good job of the Eagles getting there on defense. You know, you think if he catches that the first time, I think he took his eyes off the ball getting ready to go.
Chase Nichols is slow to get up. But, yeah, if he does catch it first, he's get some positive yardage. Let's see.
Looked like he may have been holding his knee there.
Can't tell yet what they're looking like. I did see him maybe a knee, but doesn't look like anybody's looking at his knee right now.
And that's a good thing. If they're not looking at the knee, that's a good thing. You know, maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him or something, twisted up just a little bit. You know, and I know sometimes, especially from playing, you know, like I said earlier, some of these injuries, you know, you feel something tweak and you get a little scared, you know. And
it looks like they were messing with what I can see. Messing with his right forearm a little bit, maybe. So maybe it's one of those things where you may have landed on the ball.
Yeah.
The ball kind of landed on your – yeah, he's working out that right arm, it looks like. So, you know, arm injuries usually aren't as bad as leg injuries.
Yes.
So
that's great to see out of Nichols there.
going to come out in an empty formation on 2nd and 12. Got your 3 receivers to the right.
And we'll see. You know, they got it. Yeah, now they'll drop back to the 2 high.
They got numbers over there.
Well, we're going to run a little play out of the Razorback playbook. He's going to go for a lot.
And that you really got to see the speed of Quentin Murphy right there.
Yeah.
A little quarterback draw, and I like the the setup there. It spread it out, and they've been trying to throw the ball a little bit more here lately. So you get Vilonia really thinking pass with nobody in the backfield, and then let your speedster in the back draw it. And it did look, if they want to come back to that empty look, they kind of did have numbers on the trip side of that empty formation too.
That was a great job. As soon as that hole opened up on that draw, he took it and went. And give it to Tank again, right up the middle. Can he he almost split the linebackers there.
Oh, King, man, he's showing off again. He's just running straight up the line again. We've talked about it early. Offensive line just making some space for him to run, and then he does what he does once he gets past that first line of defense.
And you really, I keep giving praise to the O-line, but really, sometimes running backs have to kind of dance and wait for the hole to open up, but it's been there. Every time he just gets the ball and go.
I'm going to get a false start there. But, yeah, the thing with offensive line is, and that was more of like a zone, type scheme, is the offensive line just let the defensive lineman go where you want him to go.
Yeah.
And then trust that your running back's going to make the right cut and find the hole.
See where to go and go. And so far, tonight and really every game, King Freeman has seen it and gone.
He shows good vision. He knows when to stick his foot in the ground and get north.
All right, so a false start. That'll bring up 1st and 15. But as we've seen tonight, sometimes, getting behind the sticks hasn't been a problem so far tonight.
And that's going to be the end of your third quarter here at Robinson Stadium. So that'll do it for the third quarter of play. We'll be back with more Senator football on the PCSSD Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports.
You ready for this? Home field advantage is such a huge deal in football, and I think it's a huge deal in the mortgage world too. That's why we're a local company. We have in-house processing and underwriting, and that enables me to make sure that my customers have a great experience from kickoff to the closing table. And that's just what we want to do, is give them a great experience.
With Cornerstone Home Lending, you'll always have the home field advantage. Text DO to 36260 to get started today.
So talking in this break right here, we said a lot of that quarter didn't even get out of inside the 20, inside the Senators' 20. So that's really deflating for a Vilonia Eagles team that has struggled offensively so far tonight. They were able to get it inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line twice in that quarter, and didn't get any points out of it. So, that's really tough for a team that struggled, and it's really tough on, the momentum and, kind of the drive to finish this game. Ashton Williams going to run him out there a little bit late.
Going to go back to Tank. And like I said earlier, starting behind the chains has not bothered this offense a lot tonight.
King Freeman running the ball to the 20 for another relentless performance training first down. I mean, King Freeman just doing what King does.
I mean, he's putting on a show tonight.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of because we've ran it when we're behind the sticks, and that's whenever he really rips off some of our big ones. Whenever 1st and 15, 2nd and 15, getting the first downs on those whenever we're backed up like that.
We got the one high one. Yeah.
He wanted him.
There you go. Hit the check down. Make a move. That's Ashton Williams.
That is Ashton Williams. Go out there and he'll catch some balls too. And he's obviously a defensive stud, but this week and the past 2 games, I think he's been pretty good offensively. Against Marlton, I think he caught a long touchdown. So Ashton Williams got some soft hands too. He can catch the ball. He's an athlete.
And that was great by Quentin to I kind of figured they were going to take a shot at some point on the single side. They looked like they wanted to. Check down, found Ashton Williams out open, and
he had a little bit of room. His receiver was inside the corner, but it was too tight of a window, and he pulled it down and found an open receiver.
Give it back to Tank.
King Freeman.
King Freeman.
King Freeman's in the end zone though. That's a good cut. And then he got north again. Good blocking. I mean, he didn't have to deal with any Vilonia defenders until he was about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and then by then it's too late. You're not stopping him.
He's going even if you tackle him, he's going to fall forward for those 2 yards. So that's another Cornerstone home lending touchdown, and that's going to bring John Tate out for the extra point. Looks like he puts it through. It's going to make it 42-3, which does enact the sportsmanship rule for the rest of this 4th quarter. So we will have a running clock. There's under 10:30 left on the clock, so we will have a running clock the rest of the game unless there's a timeout.
Yeah, and that right there, behind the chains and nothing but run plays. You had the one good play to Ashton there. It's just putting the game in the hands of your O-line, your running back, and saying, you guys have carried us all season. You've carried us all game. Do you.
Just go do you. Go finish it out. Get us to that running clock, and we can get out of this 4th quarter quick and get out of it hopefully healthy. We got 98 now. Ethan Caldwell in to kick, so I anticipate Coach Escola is going to get some of those reserves in there and get them some super important reps that can help throughout the rest of the season and on to next season for the younger guys.
And with new guys comes a little more confusion. Kickoff team going back and forth, the 2 sides.
Trying to figure out exactly where they need to start to line up.
Yeah.
Here's Caldwell with the kick. It's close to an offsides down there.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going to throw.
But I don't think they threw it. Got a host of Senators in there to make. And Vines, Vines have showed some promise. He's a pretty good athlete. Yeah. He's, I think he's probably their most electric and best playmaker. And, he showed it a little bit here, but, it just hadn't been enough against the stout Robinson Senator defense.
And sometimes having one good athlete's enough to win you a game. But when you play a team like, the home team here, the Senators, that have multiple, it's just a little hard to overcome sometimes.
Got athletes across the board.
Oh my goodness, what a hit.
Who is that?
At 44? That high?
No, it's 40. That was Ian Dites. And Ian, he had a few good plays last week, too, at the end of that Watson Chapel game. So that's a good hit by Ian there.
Man.
He stood up and he was excited. That's one of those you get excited about. You're ready to play the next play.
Motion them back.
Again, came out in that empty formation, motion the running back. Now they're going to throw it. And those are some good. That's good change ups to the same formation. And it's interesting that they're just now doing that because that's really, You don't know what's coming there. They can run the ball, but that's part of the reason why you like to establish the run early, because that wouldn't have worked, earlier in the game before they were running the ball. But now that they started to run the ball, they're able to do this and kind of mess with the defense's head a little bit more, so it's more effective. That's why you want to always try and establish the run early.
Right, and on their first – there's another big run. Their offensive drive, when they, he slid before he got in the end zone, this same setup was what was working for him. So,
again, that was Ian Dietz on the tackle again. Another big hit by Ian. Ian, he's kind of following in that mold of Ashton Williams. He comes in and he lays the lumber.
And you got to love it for the guys that can get in, show what they can do, and show, a Center of the Nation that you're in good hands when some of these guys leave, go to college, graduate. You're still in good hands with us here.
Always good to get real game reps on film. I got pressured. Number 11 was there.
What a one-handed catch over there. I believe it was 41 again.
That was 41 Shaw for Vilonia. One-handed catch. He pulled it in. Had number 11 for Joe T. Jordan Warren with the pressure there, and he got a hit on the quarterback, and I really thought it was going to be a sack or at least force an incomplete pass, but good hands by Shaw to pull that in with one.
Yeah, Shaw over there really bailing out his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see if, the Senator defense has done great when they've been backed up against the wall. Let's see if they can get another stop.
Sending some pressure now with the younger guys.
They're going to run a screen. Good job to track down, chase down Sway or
Shaw. Yeah,
Shaw
there.
there.
And Vilonia saw that with this younger group, they're going to try and bring some pressure and get it out of the quarterback's hands. So they, come with a really good counter and throw that screen. Coming back out and empty.
And the same set they've been running, motion him back. Run it again, and great stop in the backfield.
Again, none other than 40, Ian Dietz.
Yeah.
He's shown up with this second group. He's in the backfield. That's another one where it looked like quarterback might have wanted to pull that one. I don't know. A lot of times it looks like there's an option, but it just looks like it. A lot of times, especially in high school, the coach is really telling you if you're going to give it or pull it.
Yeah. Going to take a shot. Nobody home.
I don't know. That must have been either a route that wasn't ran right, or quarterback was expecting the wrong route, because there was no. The closest guy there was 27 for the Senators, Caleb Jones, and almost had a chance to pick it off, but he sailed it over his head a little bit. So that was, there was somebody that was either in the wrong spot or threw it to the wrong spot right there.
We'll see what they come out and do here. Shaw's been carrying you this drive, fourth and about 4 or 5 to go. See who they go with. Another interception there.
And again, that's number 5. Number 5 is Jaden Dotson. And again, just kind of get rid of it so he didn't get hit, and he got rid of it. We talked about it down on the other end earlier. If you're just going to throw it like that, odds are there's a chance it's going to get picked off, and he threw it into double coverage, got picked off by Dotson.
Yeah, that's one of those, the excitement tells you to take it out of the end zone, but, a game like this, time rolling down, just go ahead and go down the end zone, get the offense out here, let Quentin and King Freeman. I'm going to get the name right here in a minute. King Freeman, let them just run out this clock.
Yeah, let's see. We are going to have the second team on offense too. We got Connor Grisham in at quarterback,
right.
and I think if it's the same as last week, the running back is going to be. I don't know. We'll see what number he is. Number 32, Martavian Earl. That's right. Yep, Earl was running the ball at the end of the game last week. So Earl's probably going to get some good touches right here. Got 2:40 left on the clock. See if he can just run out this clock, get a few relentless performance training first downs here.
All right, let him throw.
Grisham with a good ball to 27. Right on the money to Caleb Jones out there to get a relentless performance training first down. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, 37.
And this is good for a lot of these, backup players and younger players to get, you're not just going in there and blocking for a knee or anything like that. You're actually running some of the offense and getting these guys used to what these routes will look like against a defender, and, the QB getting some backup reps against actual defense.
Here goes Earl again, and you're right. It's invaluable to be able to get some of your reserves real game reps in situations like this. You can't get reps like this in practice. You can try and make it look like a game and feel like a game all you want in practice, but it's not the same. So if you can do it in a game, legitimate reps under the lights, it's huge for later on in the season if some of these guys have to step up.
And that leads, into next year. These guys have played. We played this year, so next year, their junior or senior year, or whatever year it may be for them, they're used to this, and I think that leads to good longevity of your program being good.
Hey, you're not coming in super green. Your first time starting in high school, you've got reps underneath your belt, and that was a good run by Earl there to keep churning and get the first down. We're under a minute now here left in the game.
I was imagining I was going to throw it again.
Kanan Bell on the reception from Grisham. Good catch. He had to catch it twice, but he still brought it down. And we're at about 40 seconds left on, and that they did just now reset the play clock. So theoretically, that could have been the last play, but it looks like they might run one more here.
Yeah, that'll take us one more play. I'm going to give it to Earl.
Earl's got some room now.
He does have room.
It's a good run by Earl right there to get another relentless performance training first down. And it looks like that is going to be it. We're under 15 seconds now. Don't have to run another play, so that's going to do it for tonight's game. Your Robinson Senators are going to come out of this one with a 42-3 win over the Vilonia Eagles.
All right, that was a great game. You could tell from the start of the game that the Senators wanted to come out, lean on the backs of the O-line, lean on the backs of King Freeman and say run game, take us to the victory. And really, that's what it was the entire game.
You're right. So that'll do it for this ball game. Go ahead and stay tuned for our post-game show, and we'll announce our player of the game. Hand a little outside zone to King Freeman. King Freeman makes a cut. Good block by Chase Nichols out there, and King Freeman cuts it back. And King Freeman is running free, and he's at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, King Noah Freeman.
12, and they run read option again. And he fumbles the ball. The Mills pick up the fumble. And man, oh man, we have a game. I told you he would get stripped, and he did get stripped.
Barham barking out the signals. He gets the snap. He wants to throw. He's going to go deep for Amari. Amari back there fighting for it. And Amari Rogers came down with that. What a catch by Amari Rogers.
Rips with that sniffer to the left. Just going to run it with Noah Freeman. Noah Freeman does have some blockers, and he does have some space. Is Noah Freeman going to take it here? Noah Freeman looks like he might take it to the house at the end of halftime. There were 3 seconds left, and Noah Freeman said 3 seconds is all I need.
They're going to look to left as they roll that way. Pressure coming. Perkins in deep trouble. Finally lets loose. Picked off by Evan Williams. 15, 20, 25, 30. Break the tackle. 40 to the 50. He's got open field. 40 to the 30 to the 20 to the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown.
Tyner under center. Takes the snap. Looking to pass. Launches it over the middle. And it is caught!
Those quick screens can go the distance with these wide receivers that we have. Rigo drops back, looks right. He throws the ball deep to Jabray. Does Jabray make a play? Jabray jumps up, snags on top of the helmet, stiff arms another defender, leaves them both on the ground. turns around and backpedals in the end zone.
Coming back out in doubles with Quentin Murphy at quarterback. No Freeman to his left. Brandon Grill's going to go motion to your left. Pump fake. We got a little wheel route. Is he going to run underneath it? Oh, you see, oh my. We have a diving catch for a touchdown.
That's good. Archer again to throw. Good block from Hobbs. He's going to go up top to Carnes. What a one-handed catch! Oh, my God! Wow. Carnes reached down with a one-handed catch. Oh.
There's the snap. On the play and block. And Connor pick it up. Connor pick it up. They're going to go the distance. They're going to go the distance. That is Jade Henderson. He goes the distance. Connor won the football game. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Are you kidding me? Woo! Are you kidding me? Oh.
Welcome back, Senator fans, to our post-game show. So we'll, kind of give some updates from the other PCSSD games. We'll look at our player of the game, and then, we'll get you out of here. Looking at the scores, so, our Natural State Sports game of the week was the Sylvan Hill Bears versus the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. And looking at the Sylvan Hill stream, looks like that game is over as well, and the Sylvan Hill Bears pulled it out a close one. It was 28-7, so that one really lived up to the game of the week moniker. So congratulations to the Sylvan Hills Bears over there pulling out the win 28-7 against the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. And then looking at the Mills and Maumelle game, Mills kind of took that one over. Last I checked, it was 30-0 Mills over Maumelle. So that one should be over soon if it's not over yet. Just a little update on those scores from PCSSD. Also, we want to make sure we look at our player of the game from tonight. And, after some discussion, I think we've decided that Evans Olamy is going to be our player of the game. He forced some turnovers. We were able to call his name on multiple occasions tonight. Chris, you got anything to say about Evans' performance tonight?
Well, just from the start of the game, playing that safety position, he wasn't nervous. You're not really nervous, but, sometimes safeties don't really want to stick their nose down in there in the run game, but he showed that, he's not one of those guys. Came down, made multiple tackles in the run game. In the pass game, had multiple breakups, was able to get an interception. It was really just, at that safety position all over the place. And really, when you see a score like tonight, you've got to have defenders like Evans, that come out and just really have an outstanding game like he did.
Oh, yeah, it was a good game. And like I said, in previous game, Evans, he's out there a lot. He's in there on plays, but he finally had a chance to show what he could do. They kind of tried to attack him a little bit more, and he wasn't having any of it, and he played a good game. Want to be sure and recognize our full crew here before we let everybody go. So thanks to everybody tonight for your hard work. So bringing us all the action from up top on the press box was Mark Miller. On production was David Tooley. And then on our field cam tonight was Francis Schultz. So thank you to all those guys for their hard work behind the scenes when you don't get to hear from them a whole lot. But they're working harder than we are up here. All we're doing is talking football. They're the guys that are actually doing work. Of course, can't forget my broadcast partner, Chris Goodman. I'm Tyler Chenault for Senator Football on the PCSST Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports. Again, if you haven't already subscribed to all of our channels, please go ahead and do that. We are still, checking up on each channel and seeing who's leading the subscriber numbers. I think the Robinson Senators are still in the lead there, but make sure you go and subscribe to the Robinson Sports Network, Mills Sports Network, Maumelle Sports Network, Sylvan Hills Sports Network, and the Natural State Sports Network. So for Chris